Chapter 1484. The Celestial Moon Mirror Technique. This was another one of Yang Wu's talents. It allowed him to imitate anyone's moves. Yang Wu rarely used this technique. He had entered the divine firmament battlefield not long after learning this technique. Many of the people he fought were from other races, so the effect of this technique was not strong. He could only imitate other humans using battle techniques. In his opinion, Kunmingzi's strength was at most comparable to a third-stage Jade Moon cultivator. It was already very strong to others, but it was not worth mentioning to him. It was enough to use the same technique to defeat him. Under the effect of the immortal Qi, the ice poison and ice soul attacks did not have much effect on him. However, the peerless power he used to attack Kunmingzi was stronger than his opponents. The Dark Spirit Qi and Absolute Zero Ice Qi gathered together to form a mountain range. It completely destroyed Kunmingzi's ice mountain range. Kunmingzi was sent flying by Yang Wu's sword. His ice armor was broken, and his chest was slashed open. He was almost dismembered. The frost dragon quickly flew over and caught him, preventing him from crashing further away. His blood flowed out violently. It was a ghastly sight. Everyone focused their eyes and knew that the outcome of the battle had been decided. Yang Wu had won. Kunmingzi was not dead. He kept swallowing pills and divine spring water. His wounds were quickly healing. The people of Kunlun quickly surrounded him to protect him. They did not want him to be attacked by others. An old heaven-reaching cultivator shouted, "Yang Wu, how dare you hurt our sect leader? You deserve to die." With that, the old heaven-reaching cultivator was about to attack Yang Wu. At this moment, Daoist Pig shouted, "Stop, stop! This is clearly a fair battle with a written challenge. Are you trying to break the rules?" Old Supreme Tong Tian glanced at Daoist Zhu, his eyes filled with murderous intent. He slapped at Daoist Zhu, determined to kill him on the spot. He didn't care if he was from Divine Fortune-Telling Tower or not. You want to kill me to silence me? Why are the people of Kunlun always so overbearing?" Zhu Daoist cried out strangely as he rode the flying boar away. The flying boar's speed had always been slow, but in the face of a life-and-death crisis, it let out a stinky fart, accelerating its fat body forward, and actually dodged the old man's attack. Everyone covered their noses in shock. Is this even possible? That was an attack from an Empyrean powerhouse, and it had actually used such a method to dodge it. Could this be the innate ability of the flying pig? Old Tong Tian was quite annoyed by the flying boar's smelly fart. He no longer had the mood to attack Daoist Pig. At this moment, Yang Wu said, "Let him go." "That's right, 3 moves have passed. It's time to let him go. Kunlun shouldn't go back on their word," an Empyrean powerhouse said. "Yang Wu's godly apothecary has already won. Let him go. Don't embarrass Kunlun," someone else said. Yang Wu's battle prowess had already convinced these people. Regardless of whether they were friends or not, they should speak up for Yang Wu. Old Supreme Tong Tian looked at Kunmingzi, seeking Kunmingzi's opinion. Kunmingzi took a deep breath, his chest completely frozen. He said faintly, "Yang Wu's skills are indeed superior. Kunmingzi, have lost today. Let him go." At the crucial moment, Kunmingzi still displayed the demeanor of a great general. He dared to face his defeat and did not continue to pester. With the announcement of Kunmingzi's defeat, the curtains of the battle were drawn. Voices sounded from all around, praising Yang Wu. Godly apothecary Yang Wu is indeed worthy of being the junior brother of the Cauldron Divine Apothecary. He's a master of both alchemy and martial arts. Clan leader Yang Wu, are you still taking in followers? How about I be your follower? After this battle, Yang Wu will be the #1 person of the younger generation. Even among the older generation, there aren't many who can be his match. The champion of the Martial Sage Assembly has already been decided 10 years ago. It will be Yang Wu. These people did not have much connection with the Yang Wu family, but they were not stingy with their praise for Yang Wu. There was also a group of people who quietly left to report back on Yang Wu's situation. They had to be careful when they met Yang Wu in the future and to try not to offend him if they could. Some of the opposing forces were not happy. Yang Wu won and did not suffer too much damage. It would be difficult for them to assassinate Yang Wu. Meng Bingxue quickly rushed to Yang Wu and asked with concern, Yang Wu, are you all right? I'm fine. Go and welcome your master first. Yang Wu replied. He paused for a moment and then said, her situation is not good. Take her and leave immediately. I will think of a way to save her. Everyone could see that Bao Cai's life was in danger. If they did not save her in time, she would not be able to survive. Yang Wu brought Meng Bingxue and went to get the two people. The people of Kunlun unwillingly threw the two people to Yang Wu. Yang Wu did not come into direct contact with the two of them. Instead, he stretched out a palm and steadied them from a distance. He pulled their hair aside to check if it was really them. After confirming that it was them, he swept them over. Yang Wu, I will let you win this battle for now. We will decide the victor in the Thousand Saints Conference. Kuan Mingzi left behind these words and rode the frost dragon back to the sect with the other people of Kunlun. The other spectators also left. Only a small portion of them stayed behind to form a good relationship with Yang Wu. Jin Yuqin and Jin Yuhao had a strange look on their faces. They did not think that the people of the sect would ignore them. Logically speaking, the people from the sect would take the opportunity to make things difficult for them and capture them back. Brother, I feel like something is wrong, Jin Yuhao said with a frown. Jin Yuqin lightly nodded and said, and Kuan Mingzi is a cunning person. He will not give up so easily. Let's remind the Lord to leave quickly. Yang Wu did not need them to remind him. He already had such a plan. He took out a second-grade immortal liquid and fed it to the two of them to help them regain consciousness and stabilize their injuries. He called Waguna and prepared to leave. After the two of them drank the second-grade immortal liquid, Chu Rong clearly recovered faster. Bao Cai's recovery was slower. Her dantian had already been destroyed. Yang Wu brought the two of them, Meng Bingxue, Jin Yuqin, and Jin Yuhao, and prepared to leave. They did not care about the others for now, afraid that something would happen if they delayed. Chu Rong was the first to open his eyes. Yang Wu wanted to ask him how he was, but he saw that his expression was not right. He immediately shouted, "Get out of the way!" As he shouted, he sent Chu Rong flying with a kick. No one expected Yang Wu to do such a thing. They did not know what had happened. Chu Rong, who had just been sent flying, suddenly self-destructed. Bang! The self-destruction of a jade-piercing expert was extremely powerful. The commotion it caused was shocking. Everything within 100 li was affected. Some of the saints who were not far away were instantly killed. Yang Wu and the others, who were closest to Chu Rong, were even more miserable. He did not even have the chance to take out his pot shield. He could only rely on his own strength to protect Meng Bingxue, Jin Yuqin, and Jin Yuhao. Pooh! Yang Wu was the first to bear the brunt of the attack and suffered a devastating impact. Even though his physical body was tough, he was still shaken to the point where he spat out blood. The people under his protection did not fare well either. They rolled out of his protective shield in an instant and were all severely injured. If Yang Wu had not blocked most of the power, they would have undoubtedly died. Waguna fared better. He was powerful. Even though he was caught off guard, Chu Rong's power only injured him a little. It did not cause too much damage. Bao Cai was not so lucky. She lost the protection of her power and was crushed to pieces. She could not be more dead. This meant that Yang Wu's rescue mission had been for naught. The gains did not make up for the losses. At the same time, a jade-piercing expert charged over. Jin Yuqin, Jin Yuhao, you two traitors. Follow me back to the sect and await your punishment. This was a jade-piercing expert from Kunlun. He said that he wanted to capture the two traitors, but in reality, he was attacking Yang Wu from afar. He wanted to use this chance to kill Yang Wu. Kuan Mingzi's series of plans were too treacherous and terrifying. Yang Wu felt that this person was extremely troublesome. Oh, you want to hurt my master? Don't even think about it. Waguna shouted. He instantly blocked in front of Yang Wu. His wings flapped, and that jade-piercing attack was destroyed. Waguna had entered the high level of the deity realm. His battle prowess was not to be underestimated. He was not someone that anyone could deal with. I'll deal with this feathered beast. You guys go and take down the others, an old jade-piercing expert shouted. He raised his weapon and slashed at Waguna. Other jade piercing experts went to kill Meng Bingxue, Jin Yuchen, and Jin Yuhao. The three of them were already seriously injured. With just a casual attack, they could be sent to the Western Paradise. At the critical moment, Zhu Daoist suddenly intervened. He shouted, "Shameless guy, you won't even let the juniors go. I can't stand it anymore." Zhu Daoist rode his flying pig and flew past, saving Meng Bingxue, Jin Yuchen, and Jin Yuhao. "Zhu Daoist, you've gone too far," Kunlun Jade, piercing expert, shouted unhappily. He sped up and chased after them. He had to take down Zhu Daoist and the other three. Zhu Daoist did not have any other skills, but his ability to escape was top-notch. He took the three of them and quickly left the scene, preventing them from being killed. Kunlun Jade Piercing was so angry that he stomped his feet. On the other side, Kunlun Jade Piercing Expert thought he could take down Waguna quickly. When the battle began, he realized that Waguna was much more difficult to deal with than he had imagined. When the other Jade Piercing Experts wanted to help, Waguna was furious. He carried Yang Wu on his back, and a pot shield descended from the sky. He shouted, "I'll smash you old bastards to death." After Waguna reached the high level of God Realm, he could perfectly activate the pot shield. It became a giant pot and smashed toward the Jade Piercing Experts of Kunlun. Before the cauldron even moved, the powerful crushing force had already caused them great damage, causing them to spit out blood as they were sent flying. What kind of weapon is this? It's so powerful. The old Jade Piercing Expert was forced to retreat. "Waguna, let's go. We'll get justice another day." The injured Yang Wu said with difficulty. He chose to retreat. He did not want to fight to the death. This was their territory. "Yang Wu, can you leave?" Chapter 1485. Not only was Kuan Mingzi talented, but he also had many tricks up his sleeve. When he was preparing to deal with Yang Wu, he had already made ample preparations. If he had defeated Yang Wu, there wouldn't have been so much trouble. But if he couldn't, he wouldn't have let Yang Wu go. The two of them were destined to be enemies. If there was one of them, there wouldn't be any room for the other. After they captured Chu Rong, they did something to him. Once he regained his consciousness, he would definitely choose to self-destruct. Everything was within their expectations. As for Bao Cai, she was already a dead person in their eyes. Of course, they wouldn't give Yang Wu a chance to save her. The power of Chu Rong's self-destruction was shocking. Even if an immortal realm expert was nearby, they would be blown to pieces. But Kuan Mingzi wouldn't let it go. He still had a trick up his sleeve. What if Yang Wu reacted quickly and didn't die from the explosion? The immortal realm experts of Kunlun would definitely make a move. If they couldn't kill Yang Wu, what could they do? They would let those who wanted Yang Wu dead deal with him. Purple Cloud Hall, Yama Hall, Xing family, and the medicine sect all wanted Yang Wu dead. They didn't need to send people directly. They only needed to pay enough to hire experts to kill Yang Wu. Step by step, the plan was closely linked. It was impossible to guard against. Just as Waguna was about to escape, another immortal realm expert came. These were all people arranged by the enemy forces, and they had been waiting nearby for a long time. A total of 5 immortal realm experts appeared. One of them was Grand Tutor Zhua. Ever since Yang Wu messed up the Hung Mountain sect, Grand Tutor Zhua hated Yang Wu to the core. He wanted to cause trouble for the Hung Mountain sect, but the Sword Demon suddenly appeared in the Hung Mountain sect. That idea was instantly extinguished. The Sword Demon was ranked below Limu Bai, but if they really fought, he would be even more difficult to deal with. Limu Bai still cared about the righteousness of Jianghu, but Sword Demon did not have such concerns. If he offended him, not only him, but also the people under his influence would be mercilessly retaliated against. Such a person who was both good and evil was not easy to deal with. This time, Yang Wu took the initiative to go out. He did not want to miss such an opportunity. Just as Grand Tutor Zhua was about to kill Yang Wu, a delicate voice rang out. "A loser dares to come after my young master? You must be tired of living." Yu Huijin appeared at the crucial moment. Naturally, she wouldn't just watch as Yang Wu died. Grand Tutor Zhua's eyes twitched when he saw Yu Huijin. He retreated and shouted, "Brother Kuan, what are you waiting for?" Following his shout, a ferocious figure charged towards Yu Huijin. It was like the shadow of a Kuan Peng, and its aura was extremely shocking. It was definitely an overlord-level existence. A trace of caution flashed across Yu Huijin's face as she furiously slapped the Kuan Peng's shadow with her delicate hands. Bang bang. The two peerless experts clashed, instantly creating thousands of sparks. This woman is actually so strong. I like it, I like it. A wretched voice rang out. Yu Huijin scolded. Ugly guy, I'll tear your mouth apart. The person in front of her looked very strange. He looked like a Kuan demon, but also like a great punk. In fact, he was a human, but his strength was not ordinary. Only those experts knew where this person came from. This was the Kuan Peng, who was infinitely close to the top 10 of the Overlord ranking. His real name was Kuan Hua, and he was a mixed-blood human with the Kuan Peng's bloodline. One of Yang Taihe's mortal enemies, the Golden Peng Taoist, was one of his direct disciples. This was a rogue cultivator who cultivated both human and demon cultivation methods. He was a powerful overlord who cultivated both human and demon cultivation methods. Grand Tutor Zhua had paid a hefty price to invite him out. Kuan was naturally lustful. Without a beauty in front of him, he would not be tempted to attack. After seeing Yu Huijin, he was indeed tempted. Yu Huijin definitely had a foreign bloodline. She was his favorite. Kuan launched a fierce attack on Yu Huijin. As long as he could keep her busy and give Grand Tutor Zhua an opportunity to kill Yang Wu, it would be enough. Once Grand Tutor Zhua took down Yang Wu, it would not be difficult to take down this woman. But their plan was too perfect. With a pot shield in hand, Waguna was in an undefeatable position. The powerful rebounding force bounced back all the heavenly powers, which couldn't hurt it or Yang Wu at all. Waguna, let's go. Yang Wu glanced at Grand Tutor Zhua, committing this person to memory. Waguna's speed was astonishing. If he wanted to leave, who could stop him? The experts all took out their weapons and unleashed shocking attacks. It was as if they wanted to destroy the world and keep Yang Wu here. Yang Wu, where do you think you're going? If we don't keep you here today, we won't have to go back. Fellow Taoists, don't hold back anymore. Attack with all your might. Moon Searcher Hand. Heaven Tyrant Fist. Thousand Shadow Slash. Wave after wave of deity-level attacks rained down on Oguna. Anomalies appeared one after another, causing a huge commotion. Grand Tutor Zhua hefted his divine sword and furiously attacked as well. I refuse to believe that I can't break through your black shield. Sword chi that was 300,000 meters long tore through the air, smashing viciously against the pot shield's defensive barrier and causing it to cave in. Just as it was about to injure Yang Wu, a rebounding force appeared, sending the sword chi back towards Grand Tutor Zhua. Grand Tutor's expression changed drastically. He quickly dodged, avoiding the rebounding attack. Waguna had already taken the chance to flee. Until next time, Grand Tutor's Yang Wu left behind a message. Grand Tutor was furious. Just as he was about to curse, a crescent-shaped blade light slashed towards him. Grand Tutor was scared out of his wits. He hurriedly dodged in fear. This woman is too strong. I can't handle her alone. Grand Tutor let's work together and take her down, Kuan called out. Grand Tutor cursed inwardly. Useless guy. Yu Huijin didn't waste time with them. Kuan's power wasn't any weaker than hers. She took the chance to leave as well. Kuan didn't want to let Yu Huijin go just like that. She was so beautiful and so strong. Conquering her would be a very satisfying thing. Yu Huijin was furious. She wanted to stop and fight him. Wait until I recover my soul. I'll definitely kill you, ugly guy. Grand Tutor Zhua pretended to chase with Kuan for a while before giving up. Who knew if Yang Wu still had some tricks up his sleeve? If Xiang Dingtian was waiting ahead, where could they run to? Yang Wu was fleeing towards the Apothecary Alliance. The Apothecary Alliance was on the other side of Kunlun Mountain, opposite Kunlun. This was why Yang Wu dared to come. The Apothecary Alliance's invincible realm experts were already nearby. Yang Wu had an important position in the Apothecary Alliance. Summoning a few invincible realm experts to protect him wasn't a big deal. I don't know if Zhu Daoist is good or bad, but but it's better for them to be in his hands than in Kunlun's. Yang Wu thought to himself. Then he thought, Zhu Daoist is from the divination tower. It won't be hard to find him. He wanted to find them, but he didn't have a direction in this vast world. Once he rested, he would go find the divination tower's people. He would probably find out where they were. While he was in a daze, Zhu Daoist's voice rang out. You're not a good friend. I helped you save them, but you ran away first. Yang Wu looked into the distance. Who else could it be but Daoist Zhu? Senior Zhu, thank you. Yang Wu looked at the three people who were safe and sound. He was grateful. Haha, that's more like it. Zhu Daoist smiled and said, I heard you were the youngest apothecary in history. Why don't you give me a few pills? Yang Wu didn't say anything. He took out a jade bottle and said, Here are a few pills. Please accept them. Zhu Daoist was shocked. He was just joking, but Yang Wu took it seriously. He was so generous. He wasn't stingy like the other apothecaries. He took the jade bottle and opened it. The smell of medicine wafted through the air. It was the pills. Not bad. Not bad. You're a good friend. I'll give them back to you. Zhu Daoist said, and threw Meng Bingxue, Jin Yuchen, and Jin Yuhao back to Yang Wu. Yang Wu raised his hand and released a soft power to catch the three of them. The three of them were hit by the destructive power. Luckily, Han Sun had blocked most of the power for them. Otherwise, they would have died. Now, their wounds were mostly healed. Zhu Daoist didn't give them a hard time. He might have even saved them. Wu, my teacher, Meng Bingxue cried and jumped into Yang Wu's arms. She couldn't say anything. Yang Wu patted her back and said, We did our best. Yang Wu was sad. He had tried his best to save them, but he couldn't. Jin Yuhao said, What's the point of crying? The master almost died. Yuhao, don't talk nonsense. Yang Wu said to Jin Yuhao. Meng Bingxue felt like her heart had been stabbed. She got out of Yang Wu's arms and apologized. Yang Wu, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have caused so much trouble. That old man wouldn't have died. It's all my fault. I will pay for it with my life. Meng Bingxue was a strong woman. Unfortunately, after her teacher had been captured and died, her heart had almost broken down. She raised her hand and slapped the top of her head. She didn't give herself a chance to live. Luckily, Yang Wu caught her in time. Otherwise, she wouldn't have succeeded in killing herself. Before she could say anything, Yang Wu knocked her out. Let's go back to the alliance. Yang Wu held Meng Bingxue and said to them. Then they went back to Ding City. Nobody could understand the feelings between him and Meng Bingxue. If it weren't for her, he would have been killed in the mortal world. So, her business was his business. It didn't matter if he put his life in danger. Chapter 1486. The Apothecary Alliance's situation was much better than before. After Zhang Xiaoru had sent the pill alchemy tower down one by one, he had attracted even more pill masters to join him. Furthermore, Chao Jifei had also continuously issued a series of measures to deal with the Medicine Sect Alliance and had achieved a good result. But no matter what, they were not as powerful as when they were alone. If not for their strong foundation, they would have been defeated by the Apothecary Alliance. Yang Wu brought Meng Bingxue, Jin Yuchen, and Jin Yuhao to Ding City to rest temporarily. He hoped that Meng Bingxue could walk out of her sad predicament. He did not want her to commit suicide again. This time, Chao Jifei did not come out to meet Yang Wu. She was in seclusion. Chao Jifei's cultivation talent was not weak. Otherwise, she would not have become a top apothecary at such a young age. She was also very hardworking. As long as she had free time, she would spend it on cultivation. Miao Miao was doing business in the city. When Yang Wu returned, he immediately came to see Yang Wu. Miao Miao was wearing a scholarly merchant's robe. He was walking in the style of crab. Aren't you afraid that Vice Leader Miao will beat you up? Yang Wu asked jokingly. It's not the first time. When I said that you asked me to do it, he had nowhere to vent his anger. Hee hee. Miao Miao smiled proudly. Looks like you've been doing well recently. It's all thanks to you, boss. I heard that you won another battle. You're getting more and more powerful. When are you going to bring me out to play? What's there to play? Just think a way to make Wuho's business bigger and stronger. Also, did you contact the Wuho gang I asked you to do? Of course. They know that I'm your follower. They all call me president. Okay, I'll develop Wuho Gang well. You'll become more and more powerful as the president. After Yang Wu returned from the Divine Firmament battlefield, he had not visited Wuho Gang yet. Wuho Gang had Ren Gang and a group of sages. As long as they did not expand, no one would have any ideas about them. This time, he wanted to place his focus on developing the Marquee Gang. The Yang family had stabilized completely. He did not need to worry too much. Yang Wu brought Miao Miao and the others over. Grand Guardian Ren Gang, Vice Leader Nan Xinshu, and a group of sages came out to greet him. President, greetings. Yang Wu had led this group. After settling the Yang family's matter, he let them return. After Yang Wu arrived at the main hall, he put on a mask and faintly said, "From today onwards, our Wu Ho Gang will go out. We can't stay in this corner all day. My gang leader is Wu Ho. From now on, you can all call me that." "Yes, President," everyone said in unison. Yang Wu then started to give orders. On one hand, he asked people to cooperate with Miao Miao to build Wuho Chamber of Commerce. On the other hand, he started to collect all kinds of thunder items in Thunder Mountain. He also took in the rogue cultivators who often cultivated in Thunder Mountain. He was willing to use some divine pills to attract some people. He also did not mind revealing that Wuho Gang had a deep relationship with the Apothecary Alliance. When Yang Wu put on the mask, he started to become a different person. He started to expand to other places, preparing to take in all the second-rate and third-rate forces nearby. Nan Shuchen led a group of sages out. They had all cultivated the Thunder Crash divine art, and their strength had increased a lot. It was more than enough to deal with people from other forces. Moreover, they had the help of Jin Shunshun and Jin Shinhao. Yang Wu also planned to arrange for Meng Bingxue to stay in Wuho Gang. He did not want to bring her back to the Yang family. Meng Bingxue had become less talkative. Yang Wu did not know how to comfort her. He could only quietly accompany her and wait for her to recover. "Wu, can you practice with me?" Meng Bingxue asked. "Okay." Yang Wu answered and practiced with her. The two of them practiced the sunset, rising moon's secret art in tacit understanding. The sun rose and the moon set. The sword rose and fell. The many sword beams kept intersecting one another to form a sun and a moon. In the beginning, his movements were somewhat jerky. However, he quickly entered a state of perfection. The sun and moon rotated faster and faster, and the power they unleashed was incomparably stunning. Yang Wu realized that this sword art was not ordinary. It was not only a holy skill, but also a divine skill. Otherwise, it would not have attracted such a sun and moon phenomenon. As the two of them practiced together, they suddenly felt each other's thoughts. No, it should be said that Yang Wu once again felt Meng Bingxue's thoughts. This was a feeling that he had not felt for many years. She once again let down her guard against him. The two of them seemed to have a tacit understanding. One move after another became more and more perfect. The sun and moon appeared in the sky of Wuho Gang at the same time. This surprised everyone in the gang. The sun and moon quickly disappeared. Meng Bingxue also took out a mask. She faintly said, "Wu, let me be your shadow in the future. I will take care of Wuho Gang for you." Yang Wu was stunned for a moment. He asked, "Why do you have such thoughts?" "I don't want to be a coward anymore," Meng Bingxue said firmly. She paused for a moment and then faintly said, "Actually, my master has always been bad to me. She hates me for not living up to her expectations. She has always hoped that I could become the future leader. Unfortunately, I was tricked by Kuan Mingzi. After I came back, she did not give up on me. She still hoped that I could work hard to surpass Kuan Mingzi. Unfortunately, I fell behind for too long. Even though I have worked very hard, it is still far from enough. I still cannot catch up with him. My master's temper is getting worse and worse. She is very ambitious. She wants to be the next leader, but there are too few people supporting her. When Kuan Mingzi came to ask her, she actually supported him. But Kuan Mingzi suggested that I should continue to be his woman obediently. I thought my master would agree. Who knew that my master did not agree? She even scolded Kuan Mingzi for being a bastard. That is why Kuan Mingzi began to turn hostile. My master was harmed by him because of me. This hatred is absolutely irreconcilable." Her eyes were filled with deep hatred. It was obvious that she hated Kuan Mingzi to the core. Just leave this matter to me. You are not his opponent. Yang Wu took the initiative and said, "No, I cannot rely on you anymore. I know that there is still a big gap between him and me, but I believe that you will help me, right? My cultivation talent is not bad. As long as I work hard, I will definitely be able to catch up with him." Meng Bingxue said with a pleading look, "All right, since you have such thoughts, I will do my best to help you." Yang Wu said he would help. He was not joking. Meng Bingxue was one of the people he trusted the most. Now that she had left Kunlun, it was not impossible for her to be his substitute. After all, he still had to take care of his identity as the leader of the Yang family. There were some things that he could not do by himself. With her here, the Marquis gang would develop faster. It would be even better if Skinny Monkey was here. However, that guy was cultivating in the Swallowing Sun realm. He also had to fight the Death God clan. He had his own path, so he would not disturb him for the time being. If Sun Do needed help, he would rush over without hesitation. In the next 10 years, he would try to travel all over the transcendent realm to cultivate his mind and martial arts. He would do his best to increase his strength in order to face the Martial Saint Assembly and the Thousand Saints Assembly. The transcendent realm was vast and boundless. However, it was only one of the realms in the human realm. There were a total of 81 realms. These 81 realms used to be a complete realm. Now, they had become fragmented. Would there be a chance for them to reunite as one realm in the future? Yang Wu began to train Meng Bingxue. He first taught her the void tempering art and began to use medicinal liquid to strengthen her body. As long as her body was strong, she would be able to cultivate the void tempering art faster. When the time came, he would teach her the void travel art and void hand. In the next period of time, he would appear as Yang Wu. He would not use these methods. Only when he appeared as Marquis would he use these methods. In addition, he also taught her the Soul Control Heart Sutra to strengthen her soul and help her increase her realm. With Yang Wu's current ability, it was not difficult to increase a person's strength quickly. He was not afraid that her foundation would be damaged. Meng Bingxue's cultivation talent was not weak. She had already reached the 2-star realm. To help her increase her strength quickly, she only needed a drop of immortal liquid. Yang Wu did not do that for the time being. Through the devilish body tempering art, he would crazily dig out her potential first. Yang Wu took out the Ice Soul Divine Heart. This was a high-grade divine object that he had obtained from the Void Palace. It was like a heart, emitting incomparable cold energy. It also had a dense vitality. It was a divine object that warriors who cultivated the power of ice greatly desired. Although it was not as good as the 10,000 Thunders godly flower, it was still a divine object that could make any expert go crazy. With Meng Bingxue's strength, she would not be able to refine it. It would only be a waste. Therefore, he planned to refine it with her. He had absorbed the Frost Spring mystic essence. His kidneys could store cold energy. If he helped her absorb some of it, she might be able to refine it. Once she refined it, her strength would increase crazily. Her innate ice cultivation would be even more outstanding and perfect. She would be able to close the gap between them. Meng Bingxue looked at the Ice Soul Divine Heart and said excitedly, This is too precious. It's too wasteful. If her master was still alive and obtained this Ice Soul Divine Heart, breaking through to the Jade Moon realm would be a simple matter. Unfortunately, her master did not have such good fortune. If you want to be my substitute, how can you do it without a bit of strength? The two of us need to have the same strength. Only then can we reduce our flaws and make it difficult for others to distinguish us. Yang Wu said seriously. After a pause, he continued, Focus on tempering your body during this period of time. When you're able to withstand the Ice Soul Divine Heart, that will be the time you refine it. Meng Bingxue could see Yang Wu's determination. She nodded seriously and swore in her heart, I've already disappointed my master. This time, I will not disappoint my martial master. Chapter 1487. The Marquis gang used to be the territory of the Thunderheaven sect. The Thunderheaven sect had been established for 10,000 years, and the layout of this place was quite good. Yang Wu occupied a mountain with the best view. There was also a beautiful courtyard here. He and Meng Bingxue lived here. Up until now, he had been training her body every day. At the same time, he had been slowly absorbing the power of the Ice Soul Divine Heart. His body would often show signs of being completely frozen. If it weren't for his supreme 9 Mysteries formula, he might not have been able to digest this powerful ice power. The power of the Ice Soul Divine Heart was indeed very shocking. Meng Bingxue was very cruel to herself. Every time she was beaten half to death by Yang Wu, she would be thrown into the medicine barrel and jump back up quickly, shouting again. Meng Bingxue and Yang Wu fought. Every flaw of hers was exposed to him. He even learned all of her moves. You could be a bit faster. Your sword momentum needs to last a bit longer. This movement flaw is obviously unnecessary. If you lean your body a bit more, this situation won't happen. The ice chi is a bit more condensed. It's not intimidating enough. You can stretch your movement a bit more. The explosive power will be stronger. Yang Wu personally trained Meng Bingxue, helping her improve her battle strength as quickly as possible. In addition, he also asked some of the saints in the gang to come and teach her moves. In addition, he also gave her some support pressure. Sometimes, he would seal her power and only allow her to fight with her physical strength. Sometimes, he would take her to the wilderness and let her fight with fierce beasts. He used all the training methods he could think of. After half a year, she became a lot sharper. Today, Yang Wu let her refine the Ice Soul Divine Heart. Are you ready? Yang Wu asked Meng Bingxue. Meng Bingxue nodded and said, Come. Okay, I have a mind-protecting pill here. Take it first. Yang Wu took out a divine pill and said, This was a divine pill that could protect the heart from internal and external forces. It could heal the heart at any time for a period of time. Meng Bingxue didn't hesitate. She swallowed the pellet, and Yang Wu started to unseal the power of the Ice Soul Divine Heart. In an instant, the entire area was frozen into ice, as waves of cold air swept over Wuhobang. Fortunately, Yang Wu had set up a restriction earlier. Otherwise, this chill would have frozen many people to death. Meng Bingxue didn't hesitate. She tried her best to absorb the power. Within a short time, she became an ice sculpture. Yang Wu was also not much better off. This icy, cold energy was quite terrifying, and he had to endure the onslaught of this icy, cold energy. Even though he had already absorbed quite a bit of the Ice Soul Divine Heart's power, it was only the tip of the iceberg. Compared to the full power it was releasing now, the difference was too great. The supreme 9 Mysteries formula was running crazily, and waves of icy cold energy were rushing towards his heart. However, they couldn't get close to him, and most of them were channeled into his dantian and kidneys. He tried his best to stay awake. He didn't want to absorb too much of the energy. It was from Meng Bingxue. However, sometimes he had no choice. The immortal immortality peach tree took advantage of the situation and absorbed a lot of the Ice Soul Divine Heart's power. He didn't blame it. It was good for Meng Bingxue to share some of the energy. At least, it was better than wasting it. Yang Wu's body was burning with blue flames. He walked out of the ice seal and floated in the air to protect Meng Bingxue. Now, it's up to your luck, Yang Wu murmured. If Meng Bingxue couldn't withstand the power of the Ice Soul Divine Heart, she would die. Yang Wu couldn't help her much. This was the fate of a cultivator. Only by changing one's fate could one become stronger. Meng Bingxue wouldn't come out in a short time. Yang Wu sealed off the area and returned to the meeting hall. He put on his mask and listened to the report of his subordinates. Sectmaster, the surrounding forces are all willing to join our marquee gang. There are still 2 forces that don't want to join us. Even the Supreme Protector can't do anything. They have something to rely on. Nan Shuchen reported to Yang Wu. What forces? Yang Wu asked. One is the Thousand Blade Alliance in the southeast. They have a good relationship with the Nangong clan. The 2 forces are connected. They have a space gate and can support each other. They also have many powerful saints. One of them is a peak saint with a divine weapon. He almost killed Ringang. Nan Shuchen reported. Nangong clan. Yang Wu raised his eyebrows and said, Then I'll go personally. Following Yang Wu's order, the marquee gang's people were ready to go. However, Before they could take the initiative to attack the two forces, a few battleships flew toward their territory. The allied forces of the Thousand Blade Alliance and the Nangong clan were here. These battleships were flying the flags of the two forces. When did the Thunder Heaven sect become the Marquis gang? Old geezer run, you trash. A very domineering voice scolded angrily. This was a strong man with 3 different blades on his back. He was wearing a suit of armor and stood on the first battleship, looking in the direction of the Marquis gang. Beside him was an elegant man with a green sword on his back. He looked like a sword immortal and was very outstanding. There was a trace of arrogance on his face, and he didn't look nervous at all before the battle. These 2 people were the leader of the Thousand Blade Alliance, Qian Sandao, and Nangong Jiawan of the Nangong clan. The Thousand Blade Alliance and the Nangong clan were both first-rate forces, especially the Nangong clan. They had a long history, even longer than the 10,000 Alliance and the Thunder Heaven sect. The Nangong secret arts were also quite famous in the Kunlun realm. It wouldn't be easy for the Marquis gang to eat these 2 tough bones. The people of the Marquis gang quickly rushed out and set up a formation. The masked Yang Wu brought Run Gang, Nan Shuchen, Zhan Ziliang, Jin Yuchen, Jin Yuhao, and the other saints out. I didn't go looking for trouble with you, but you came knocking on my door. That's good. Yang Wu looked at the 5,000 soldiers in front of him and said indifferently, could it be that you are the leader of the Marquis gang? The leader of the Thousand Blade Alliance, Qian Sandao, stared at Yang Wu and asked, that's right, it's me. If you are willing to submit to my Marquis gang, I will confer you as the holy elder of the gang. You can still control your original forces. If you don't, then you don't have to go back today. Yang Wu said seriously, haha, even that old monster Rin gang isn't our match. Why do you have to be so arrogant? Because Rin gang is my servant. This time, the smile on Qian Sandao's face instantly stopped. Rin gang was a half-step into heavenly arrival. If he was just a servant, then didn't that mean that the other party was stronger than Rin gang? No matter what your background is, our Nangong clan and the Thousand Blade Alliance won't respect your Marquis gang. It's best that we all live in harmony. What do you think? Nangong Jiaoan said. Did you capture Nangong Shiqin? Yang Wu didn't answer the question. Nangong Jiao, and was instantly stunned. He didn't understand why the other party suddenly changed the topic to someone else. I don't know who you're talking about. Nangong Jiaoan's eyes flickered. Oh, since you don't know, then I'll find the answer myself. Yang Wu responded and walked towards them alone. The people of the Marquis gang wanted to follow him, but he stopped them. The guy who's pretending to be mysterious. Kill him. Qian Sandao couldn't figure out Yang Wu's background, so he didn't attack him alone. Instead, he shouted to the people behind him. In the next moment, over a dozen saints rushed out from the battleship, wielding their saint weapons as they attacked Yang Wu from a distance. Streams of saint force turned into streaks of light as they attacked Yang Wu. These saints didn't show mercy when they attacked. They were determined to show Yang Wu their strength. It would be best if they could kill him together. These attacks were fast and powerful in the eyes of others, but they were nothing in Yang Wu's eyes. Yang Wu shuttled through these attacks and raised his palms to slap them. Void hand. Bang. Bang. The powerful void hand slammed into the bodies of the saints. 3 of the weaker saints were slapped into a pool of blood on the spot, while many of the other saints were severely injured. They had no way of blocking Yang Wu's attack. This was the result of Yang Wu deliberately holding back his strength. If he used his full strength, he could have killed all these saints in the blink of an eye. Are these people enough to fill the gaps between my teeth? Yang Wu sneered. Warship cannons, kill him. Nangong Jiaoan ordered. The Nangong family's warship activated its battle formation. Many cannons aimed at Yang Wu, and at the same time, a terrifying explosion erupted. With such terrifying power, even a pinnacle saint could be killed. Void travel technique. Before these cannons could explode, he disappeared before their eyes and swept through the void to reach the Nangong family's warship. Everyone on the warship was scared silly. Could it be that Yang Wu had an innate talent for teleportation? Otherwise, how could he be so fast? Yang Wu released a powerful aura, and the dragon transformation realm cultivators on the battleship were all knocked out of the battleship coughing up blood. Yang Wu continued to attack, his palms containing the power of ice landing on the saints who were attacking him, turning them into ice sculptures. Yang Wu wasn't proficient in the power of ice, but that didn't mean he didn't have it. The Frost Spring Mystic Essence, Qi, had such an ability, and this bit of ice energy was contained in his kidney. "Where's Nangong Shiqin?" Yang Wu approached Nangong Jiawen and said, "Are you her lover? I know she already has another lover. Why do you still care so much about him?" Nangong Jiawen said as he attacked Yang Wu. Nangong Sword Technique. Nangong Family Divine Sword. Nangong Jiawen used the Divine Sword and attacked Yang Wu with Divine Might. A crafty sword technique quickly enveloped Yang Wu. Nangong Jiawen's combat power wasn't inferior to a half-step Ascension Realm expert. No wonder Ringang was at a disadvantage. At the same time, Qin Sandao flew over from a nearby warship and furiously slashed at Yang Wu with a saber, pretending to be mysterious. "Eat my 1,000 saber slash," Qin Sandao shouted. Many saber lights formed a saber bridge and enveloped Yang Wu. This was a combat power that was close to the Ascension Realm. Chapter 1488. Qin Sandao and Nangong Jiawen were at the peak of the Saint Realm, but they could fight half-step Saint Realm cultivators. Facing such martial artists, Yang Wu could easily slap them to death with one hand. However, he didn't do that. Instead, he suppressed his realm and only used the power of an ordinary saint to fight with them, making them feel like they were evenly matched. The others also felt the same. This masked man is not weak. No wonder he can become the leader of Wuho Gang. If Ringang also attacked, we might not be able to take them down. Fortunately, we still have a trump card. Who is this guy? Why haven't I heard of him before? As expected, the Martial Saint Assembly is coming soon. All kinds of monsters are starting to appear. On the other hand, the people of Wuho Gang were expressionless, as if they weren't worried about Yang Wu's life at all. "You guys only have this little bit of strength, and you still want to attack my Wuho Gang. Too naive. Quickly surrender obediently, and I can leave you a way out. Otherwise, only death awaits you." Yang Wu took nimble steps and dodged their attacks as he spoke in a mocking tone. "You think you're so great just because you're a bit faster? I'll make you regret provoking my 1,000-blade alliance." Qin Sandao shouted, and 2 other blades flew out from his back, one long and one short. Including the blade in his hand, he had a total of 3 blades. He was ready to use his unique skill, World Splitting in 3. The 3 blades were slashed down from the sky, and 3 terrifying blade lights broke through the layers of space, as if cutting the world into 3, filled with destructive power. Qin Sandao's name was because his 3 blades were especially powerful and could kill half-step Saint Realm cultivators. He had been suppressing his realm, not breaking through half-step Saint Realm, because he was afraid that if he broke through to the Jade Moon Realm, he wouldn't be able to participate in the Martial Saint Assembly. That would be a pity. Nangong Jiawen also had the same idea. They, as veteran saints, also wanted to shine in the Martial Saint Assembly. Nangong Sword Art's 13th sword move, Azure Dragon Spit's Pearl. Nangong Jiawen also used his ultimate move. As the sword slashed down, it was as if a 10,000 zhong long azure dragon had appeared, spitting out its energy essence. A dragon pearl suddenly appeared, releasing a large amount of sword chi that wrapped around Yang Wu, not allowing him to escape Qin Sandao's attack range. When the 2 of them joined forces, they did indeed have the power to slaughter Jade Moon cultivators. It was no wonder that Ringang had retreated. Yang Wu raised his long sword and attacked continuously, but was forced to retreat again and again. His ice power attacks and moves weren't his forte, but he was able to use them quite well. Just as Qin Sandao and Nangong Jiawen saw the dawn of victory, Yang Wu shouted, "I don't want to play with you anymore." In the fight, Void Travel. When Yang Wu used this move, it almost had the effect of teleportation. First, he appeared behind Qin Sandao. Then, he waved his long sword and directly wiped the back of his neck. Qin Sandao didn't even have time to react before his head flew off. Yang Wu grabbed his head and shouted, "Those who surrender will not be killed. Otherwise, All of you will end up like him. In the next moment, Qian Sandao's head was crushed by his claw. Bang! A cloud of blood, mist exploded. The members of the Thousand Blade Union and the Nangong clan were so scared that their faces turned pale. Their confidence instantly fell to the bottom. Go, go! Nangong Jiawan still wanted to attack Yang Wu. However, after seeing this scene, he was so scared that he stuttered. Do you think you can escape? Yang Wu said as he rushed towards Nangong Jiawan. Old ancestor, save me! Nangong Jiawan shouted anxiously. Just as Yang Wu was about to reach Nangong Jiawan, a sword light fell from the sky and slashed towards Yang Wu's position. This sword was like lightning. It was astonishingly fast. It must be someone who cultivated the sword Dao to be able to slash out such a stunning attack. Yang Wu had long sensed someone's presence, so he deliberately closed in on Nangong Jiawan. When the sword fell, he dodged it by a hair's breadth, but he still deliberately let the sword chi cut his clothes. An old figure landed and said in surprise, "Who are you? You actually managed to dodge my attack. Who are you? You dare to come out and throw away your life?" Yang Wu stared at the old man and said, "This old man is Nangong Changjian. Nangong clan's old ancestor said, 'What long sword and short sword? I've never heard of you.'" Yang Wu said disapprovingly. Nangong Changjian was so angry that smoke was coming out of his 7 orifices. Many years ago, he was also a famous sword saint. Now that he had not appeared in the world for a long time, he was unexpectedly looked down upon by others. "No matter who you are, if you don't die for my sword, I'll spare your life." Nangong Changjian shouted and instantly unsheathed his sword, slashing out. A sword light cut through the sky and instantly arrived in front of Yang Wu. Its speed was astonishing and its power was quite strong. This was the strength of the Jade Moon realm, not just a simple half-step into heaven-piercing. No wonder the Thousand Blade Alliance and Nangong clan came looking for trouble with the Marquis clan. They had something to rely on. The sword light cut through Yang Wu's position. Nangong Changjian thought that he had cut Yang Wu in two, but he didn't expect that it was only an afterimage of Yang Wu. Taking advantage of your seniority, eat my void palm. Yang Wu appeared behind Nangong Changjian, his 2 palms exploding through the air. Void palm. Void palm techniques were impossible to guard against. Even Nangong Changjian was unable to react in time, suffering a series of furious slaps from Yang Wu. Yang Wu slightly increased his strength, not giving Nangong Changjian the slightest chance to react. Pung pung. Nangong Changjian was instantly beaten silly. He was a first-level Jade Moon Realm expert. Under heaven piercing, who could be his opponent? The strength of this masked man in front of him was very strange, making him unable to block. He was like a sandbag, continuously slapping him. Even if he wanted to dodge, he would not be able to. Even if he activated his divine robes, they were still beaten to the point of almost bursting. Nangong Changjian was about to go crazy. He increased his speed to dodge and attacked Yang Wu. Sword light cut through the air, slashing towards Yang Wu. Yang Wu was like a fish, dodging extremely fast. Every time he changed his position, he would not be injured by Nangong Changjian. He could even continue to counterattack, beating him into an extremely sorry state. "You rotten old man, you're very bad. I'll slap your face. I'll slap your butt. You're really perky. I'll slap you again." Yang Wu was like a dead pervert, continuously slapping Nangong Changjian's butt. No matter how the other party dodged, his butt would be slapped with a pa-pa sound. Nangong Changjian was about to cry. In front of so many juniors of the Nangong clan, he was being hit on the butt. How was he supposed to live? I'll definitely kill you," Nangong Changjian crazily shouted. A cyan sword domain was born, blasting towards the people of the Wuho clan. Since he couldn't injure Yang Wu, he could only kill the people of the Wuho clan. He couldn't possibly not save them, right? Sure enough, Yang Wu immediately blocked in front of him and shouted, "You're forcing me like this. You're courting death." Void God Fist, Yang Wu deliberately shouted. Relying on the strength of his body, he bombarded Nangong Changjian's sword domain with an unstoppable force. This was only an ordinary fist. relying on his battle prowess. Even an elementary heaven-piercing realm expert wouldn't be able to block it. Rumble, rumble. Nangong Changjian's powerful sword chi was completely shattered by Yang Wu's fist. He was like a barbaric dragon in human form. His long body shot forward and arrived in front of Nangong Changjian. With a punch, his chest caved in, and Nangong Changjian was sent flying while vomiting blood. Bah, you want to play rough with me? You're not strong enough. Yang Wu roared and continuously used the void hand to slap Nangong Changjian. Nangong Jiao and his people were terrified. Nangong Jiao and wanted to take the opportunity to escape. Who knew that the void hand would suddenly descend and slap him, sending him flying and seriously injuring him. Only then did he realize that Yang Wu had been messing around with him, and this was the real strength of the other party. This was definitely a terrifying, heaven-piercing realm expert. He cried and cursed in his heart. Why are you pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger? This is simply too much of a bully. Run, run quickly. It'll be too late if we don't run now. This is too scary. Don't run, don't run. He'll kill us. Let's surrender. Quickly surrender. Whether it was the people of the Thousand Knife Alliance or the Nangong clan, they were all frightened into a mess. Some were frantically running away, while others were shouting surrender. They had completely lost their backbone. Brothers of the Wuhou clan, go, Nan Shuchen ordered. Thus, the people of the Wuhou clan quickly charged forward. Whoever ran would be killed. Those who didn't run would still have a chance to live. Yang Wu shouted again, whoever runs will die. After saying that, he slapped the air twice, and several people who were running away were slapped into pools of blood on the spot. The people who were about to escape were instantly intimidated. Nangong Changjian also wanted to escape, but unfortunately, he couldn't. The other party easily played with him in the palm of his hand. He couldn't resist at all. When Yang Wu carried Nangong Changjian and Nangong Jiao in, no one from the Nangong clan dared to move. The people of the Thousand Knife Alliance also didn't dare to act rashly. Just like that, the curtains of a short confrontation came to an end. These people were all escorted back to the Wuhou clan, and the few saint warships became the Wuhou clan's spoils of war. Yang Wu grabbed Nangong Changjian and Nangong Jiaoin and interrogated, Speak, where did Nangong Shiqin go? This time, Nangong Jiaoin didn't dare to hide anything. He said, She's dead. Yang Wu was instantly enraged. Why did she die? She wanted to take control of the Nangong Trading Company. She also wanted the trading company to break away from our control and establish her own sect. She brought a lover with her. I killed them, Nangong Jiaoin replied nervously. Just as he finished speaking, a palm covered the top of his head and instantly smashed his head into smithereens. Bang! Nangong Jiaoin died. He was a potential contender for the Martial Sage Assembly's ranking in the future, but he couldn't even withstand a single blow from Yang Wu. Nangong Changjian jumped in fright and hurriedly said, This matter has nothing to do with me. I basically don't care about the Nangong clan's matters. Understand. From today onwards, you'll be the Wuhou clan's consecrator. The Nangong clan and the Thousand Knife Alliance will become the Wuhou clan's subordinates. Yang Wu said faintly and began to use the puppet controlling technique to control Nangong Changjian. Nangong Changjian didn't dare to resist at all. Once he did, only death would await him. It was better to obediently accept the fate of being controlled. That way, he might as well live. Chapter 1489. Since Meng Bingxue was willing to be Yang Wu's substitute, Yang Wu had no choice but to prepare two protective talismans for her. One was Nangong Changjian, and the other was Ringang. After Nangong Changjian was controlled by Yang Wu, he wouldn't have any thoughts of betrayal. He was a connecting heaven realm expert, enough to protect Meng Bingxue. However, this wasn't enough. Yang Wu still needed to help Ringang reach the connecting heaven realm. Ringang had long been controlled by Yang Wu. Yang Wu was worried that Ringang would break free from his control after breaking through to the Jade Moon realm. Now, he didn't have such worries. With his strength, he could easily control Ringang, so he didn't have to worry about him breaking through to the Jade Moon realm. Yang Wu took Ringang to Thunder Mountain. The following matters could be left to Nan Shuchen to handle. As for when Meng Bingxue would break out of the ice, it would depend on her luck. With Nangong Chongjian protecting her, it would be enough. Thunder Mountain had lightning all year round, so the surroundings were filled with lightning energy. Ordinary people couldn't get close to it. Only cultivators who cultivated lightning Xian Qi liked to come here to cultivate. However, they didn't dare to rashly climb the mountain, fearing that the sacred lightning would turn them into ashes. Rin Gang, I'll withdraw my control over you and help you break through to the Jade Moon Realm. I hope you won't disappoint me. Yang Wu said to Rin Gang, who was following behind him. Rin Gang was already very old. Originally, he planned to use the last of his vitality to break through to the Jade Moon Realm. Who would have thought that Yang Wu would teach him a lesson and control him? That path was basically cut off. He didn't have much lifespan left, so he didn't dare to have any extravagant thoughts. As master commands, Rin Gang still hadn't broken free from Yang Wu's control, so he was still loyal to Yang Wu. In the next moment, Yang Wu removed the mastery curse on his soul one by one. Rin Gang gradually regained his freedom. His old eyes flashed with a complicated expression. He felt both respect and disgust for the youth in front of him. Respect was because he knew that Yang Wu's strength was heaven-defying, and that he had no way to resist. As for the disgust, it was because it was too uncomfortable to be controlled by someone at such an old age. I don't care what you're feeling right now. Just listen carefully. Whether or not you can break through the Jade Moon Realm will depend on your own abilities, Yang Wu said, and then passed the complete Thunderclap God Art to Rin Gang. Previously, after Yang Wu obtained the Thunderclap Divine Art from Rin Gang, he had deduced a more complete version of the incantation. Rin Gang's cultivation was incomplete. Rin Gang was completely stunned after listening to the chant. They were both Thundercrash Divine Art, but the one that Yang Wu passed on to him was perfect and of a higher level. What are you in a daze for? Have you memorized everything? I'm sorry. Can you say that again? Yang Wu recited the incantation again, and Rin Gang finally remembered it completely. Rin Gang then knelt down in front of Yang Wu and said, Rin Gang thanks Master for teaching me. At this moment, he had completely submitted to Yang Wu. Yang Wu's strength was above his, and his abilities were far beyond his own. What was the point of resisting? It was better to follow him loyally, and perhaps he could still be free. Cultivate here first and get used to the cultivation method again. While you're at it, adjust your body and then break through to the Jade Moon Realm. When I return, I hope you'll have successfully broken through. Yang Wu said, and threw a Yin and Yang ring to Rin Gang. Rin Gang solemnly received the Yin and Yang ring and said, Many thanks, Master. I definitely won't let you down. And there are only two paths ahead. One is the path of light, and the other is the path of death. Don't make a mistake. Yang Wu said, and then floated away. Rin Gang remained kneeling, and after a long time, he stood up and murmured, Perhaps this is the biggest turning point in my life. He looked at the resources in the Yin and Yang ring. Aside from the condensed moon pill, there was also a second great immortal liquid and some lightning items that would be very beneficial to him. He flipped his hand and took out the condensed moon pill and said excitedly, The path to the heavens is clear. Many thanks, Master. Yang Wu continued to walk up the Thunder Mountains. Revisiting this old place, he was filled with emotions. It was here that he achieved the great success Saint Body, and his battle strength increased by leaps and bounds. He condensed the Black Demon Thunder Orb, and it was a paradise. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could occupy this place and make it our Wuho Gang's territory? Yang Wu thought to himself. This idea was very bold, but it was also feasible. The strongest force near the Thunder Mountains was their Wuho Gang. After all, no force could stay near the Thunder Mountains all year round. The lightning energy here was only suitable for cultivators who cultivated the lightning energy. Aside from the lightning energy, the surrounding energy was barren, and it was not too far from the Alchemist Union, who would ask for trouble and claim the Thunder Mountains as their own territory. Moreover, in a place like the Thunder Mountains, there would often be experts who would come to cultivate, and there might even be heaven-reaching powerhouses. Without a certain foundation, who would dare to take over the Thunder Mountains? Yangwu was not being impulsive. As long as he broke through the Jade Moon realm, this wish would come true. Now, he had to find Lil Hay first. He walked up step by step, encountering lightning beasts, sacred lightning, and even divine lightning. Yangwu was not afraid at all. Ordinary lightning could not hurt him now, and he could even absorb and refine divine lightning. As he went up, the lightning energy became stronger, and the terrifying power of lightning and fire made it difficult for living beings to get close. It was completely barren, and no plants could survive there. The sacred mandala flower on Yangwu's arm could not withstand it and wanted to jump out. Yangwu held her tightly, not allowing her to leave. He hoped that she could receive some divine lightning baptism. That way, her flower vines would become stronger and would not be easily cut off by others. "Master, you can't do this. I'm in so much pain." The sacred mandala flower begged. "You can use the 9 lightning body tempering technique to block it." Yangwu ignored its begging and said. The sacred mandala flower had followed him for many years and already understood the 9 lightning body tempering technique. Otherwise, she would not have been able to endure it when he was going through the divine pill tribulation. She was also very cunning. Every time before the lightning punishment came, she would dodge it and try her best not to be hit by the lightning. She would shrink into a small dot and minimize the damage. If she was like Yangwu and took the initiative to refine her flower vines, she might become even stronger. The 9 lightning body tempering technique was not suitable for plants to cultivate, but the Great Tao was connected. She could also figure out some ways to refine her body. Yangwu raised his head and looked at the sky that had completely turned purple. A terrifying pressure arose spontaneously. He was only halfway up the mountain and was still far from reaching the top. There would probably be a sea of lightning above. Even a heaven-piercing expert would not dare to barge in. The destructive power there was too terrifying. Yangwu continued to climb. When the divine lightning fell, he activated the 9 lightning body tempering technique and braced himself to advance. "Little Hay! Little Hay!" Yangwu shouted loudly. His voice reverberated endlessly, but it was drowned out by the sound of thunder. Several bolts of black demon lightning suddenly shot out, transforming into black pythons that angrily bit at him. Such terrifying divine lightning. Even an ordinary Jade Moon realm expert would have to retreat. However, Yangwu raised his fist and wildly punched at them. Bang bang. Several bolts of black demon lightning were shattered. The scattered lightning energy was swallowed up by him to replenish the black demon lightning orb. At present, he still did not know how to use the black demon lightning orb. He would do his best to replenish its energy and think about what to do with it in the future. The higher Yangwu went, the more divine lightning he faced. The speed of his punches also increased, tempering his martial god's fist. As the number of divine thunders increased, Yangwu's body was continuously bombarded, causing his skin and flesh to burst open. He ignored the pain and continued to advance. If those heaven-piercing experts saw this scene, they would probably be scared out of their wits. Perhaps even the Overlord-level heaven-piercing experts did not have such ability. "Yangwu, it's you." Someone just happened to see this scene and exclaimed from the sea of lightning. Yangwu looked in that direction and saw a young man wearing lightning armor in the sea of lightning. He was Lei Yaoxian of the Purple Firmament Palace, an Overlord-level expert. Only an expert like Lei Yaoxian, who cultivated the power of lightning, dared to stay in this place. "Oh no," Yangwu thought to himself. This time, he did not ask Yu Huaijin to protect him in secret. Now that he met Lei Yaoxian, it was likely that he would not be able to survive. In the next moment, Yangwu reacted and rushed towards the denser sea of lightning. "Kid, don't be in a hurry to run. We can have a good chat," Lei Yaoxian shouted. Yangwu's charge did not decrease. He ignored his words and did not care how terrifying the lightning energy in front of him was. He wanted to get away from Lei Yaoxian first. Lei Yaoxian chased after him. Yangwu faced the bombardment of the lightning rain. His flesh was constantly cracking, and his expression was incomparably painful. Lei Yaoxuan's speed was much faster. Furthermore, he had already been cultivating in this place. In the blink of an eye, he passed through the divine lightning. He approached Yang Wu and shouted, "What are you afraid of? I won't kill you. If you don't kill me, I'm afraid I won't be able to resist killing you." Yang Wu replied and continued to rush upwards. "Kid, don't be ungrateful." Lei Yaoxian was a little angry. He didn't want to discuss with Yang Wu. He did not want to kill Yang Wu immediately. Who knew that Yang Wu feared him like a snake? He reached out a palm towards Yang Wu, wanting to grab Yang Wu. Yang Wu's reaction was also fast. He passed through several divine lightning bolts. Lei Yaoxuan's palm landed on the divine lightning bolts and shattered them. "You still said you won't kill me. You really can't be trusted." Yang Wu was so shocked that he broke out in cold sweat. "You can't escape. If you continue to go up, you will only die." Lei Yaoxian shouted and attacked again. He did not dare to launch a large-scale attack. If he triggered this sea of lightning, he would only die. Yang Wu used the environment to dodge continuously and barely dodged. However, he could not continue like this. Lei Yaoxian was already close to him. "Stop!" Lei Yaoxian was furious. A lightning finger shot towards Yang Wu's waist. Puffed. Chapter 1490. Lei Yaoxuan's attack was extremely powerful. If it landed on someone else, they would be half crippled even if they didn't die. Yang Wu only staggered for a moment with the bloody hole in his body. He didn't look too different and continued to flee to the top of the mountain. At this moment, an Emperor Jade armor covered his body, blocking the divine lightning for him. He didn't care about absorbing the power of the divine lightning anymore. He wanted to escape first. He didn't believe that the other party would dare to follow him. "Good boy, I haven't seen you for a few years, and you've become so strong." Lei Yaoxian shouted and sped up to catch up. If there wasn't the divine lightning rain here, he could catch up to Yang Wu in an instant. With the presence of these divine thunderstorms, he had no choice but to dodge and evade to avoid the bombardment of these divine thunderstorms, delaying his pursuit. Even so, Lei Yaoxuan's speed was still faster than Yang Wu. In a few blinks of an eye, he caught up. Yang Wu felt the pressure and shouted desperately, "Let's die together." In the next moment, he released the power of his heavenly thunderbone and began to absorb the power of the divine lightning. At the same time, he also exploded the power of the electric fork, forming an extremely terrifying power. Lei Yaoxuan's expression changed instantly. He shouted, "Boy, you're crazy." Once the divine lightning here was triggered, it would be terrible. The power of the divine lightning gathered and formed a real sea of divine lightning. No matter who it was, they would be turned into ashes. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The divine lightning was like pythons and dragons, crazily rushing over, causing the heaven and earth to become incomparably violent. The surroundings were filled with destructive power. Yang Wu was in the middle of this power. In an instant, the Emperor Jade armor shattered and his flesh began to fly. The pain made him twitch nonstop. "Madman, madman." Lei Yaoxian could tell that Yang Wu wasn't joking. When a large amount of divine, lightning power swept towards him, he didn't dare to stay any longer and quickly retreated. He was afraid that he would be affected. Even if he didn't die, he would lose a layer of skin. Indeed, Yang Wu was on the way to losing his skin. His body kept twisting as he tried his best to resist this power. The heavenly thunderbone and black demonic thunder orb were both absorbing this power, but it was completely useless. The sacred mandala flower on his body also let out a series of wails that only he could hear. "Master, hurry up and call out the electric fork." I can't take it anymore," the holy mandala cried. Yang Wu gritted his teeth and persisted. "Hold on a little longer. We'll go up." He was truly ruthless to himself. His skin and flesh had split open, even revealing the purple bones inside, yet he was still unwilling to call for the divine weapon, lightning fork, to protect him. This level of endurance was truly extraordinary. He activated the Nine Thunders reshaping technique and forged his body to the extreme. When he couldn't hold on any longer, he summoned the divine weapon, the electric fork, to help him share the burden of the divine lightning. The divine weapon electric fork had the ability to devour thunder and lightning, and it quickly took away most of the pressure for him. He hurriedly refined the Thunder God liquid to heal his injuries. After being attacked by the divine lightning, the best healing divine liquid was the Thunder God liquid. It was a trace of life born from the destructive power of the divine lightning, and it just so happened to be able to counter the destructive power of the divine lightning. Yang Wu's injuries were healed, and he continued to climb the mountain. He withdrew all of his aura, and the divine lightning that gathered around him gradually dissipated. It turned out that the divine lightning that was wreaking havoc here was still there, and it still had terrifying destructive power. After this round of baptism, Yang Wu felt that he had enough tempering, and he didn't want to kill himself anymore. He used the divine weapon electric fork to open a path, and even carried the pot shield on his back to repel the power of the divine lightning. After using these two divine weapons, the pressure on Yang Wu's body was greatly reduced, and he could finally take a breather. I really didn't expect Lei Yaoxian to cultivate here. If I hadn't reacted quickly enough, I would have been taken down by him. Yang Wu lamented in his heart, and after pausing for a moment, he muttered to himself, "I'm afraid there will be some trouble on the way back, but if we fight in this place, it's still not certain who will live and who will die." After Yang Wu recovered from his injuries at the fastest speed, he felt that the strength of his body had increased by a bit. He looked around and saw pieces of thunderstones that had been cleansed by the divine lightning. His eyes lit up, and he quickly collected these thunderstones. These were divine lightning stones, precious materials for forging divine weapons. Yang Wu picked up the stones along the way, and not all of them were worth taking. Only those stones that had been polished until they were smooth and undamaged were worth taking. Those that were damaged were all leftovers and didn't have much value. As he walked, he saw a Thunder God tree. It only had branches, no leaves, and no fruits, but it could withstand the bombardment of the divine lightning without falling. I came at the wrong time. The Thunder God fruit must have grown here before, Yang Wu said with a trace of regret. The Thunder God fruit only grew once every 10,000 years, and each fruit was as valuable as the Dragon Phoenix fruit, or even more valuable. Yang Wu went forward to break a branch, but he realized that these branches were incomparably tough. Even with the strength of his wrist, he couldn't break a single branch. Just as he was about to use force, a branch whipped towards him. "Ha!" Yang Wu's, but was viciously hit, and he jumped up in pain. "Kid, don't damage my body." The Thunder God tree suddenly spoke. "Air, don't be so stingy. I just want a small branch," Yang Wu said. Just as he finished speaking, his butt was whipped again. This Thunder God tree's attack was very fast, and Yang Wu couldn't defend against it. In the past, I met a little hay dog and said the same thing. In the end, you saw it. It plucked all the Thunder God fruits from my body and even broke a few large branches. Now, a little human like you dares to provoke me? Do you really think I'm easy to bully? The Thunder God tree scolded angrily. "Little hay dog? You've seen little hay before? Where is it?" Yang Wu held onto his butt and asked in surprise, "You're also that little hay dog's companion?" The Thunder God tree said in a dissatisfied tone. Yang Wu was stunned for a moment. Then he thought of something and said, "I'm not its companion. I'm its enemy. That despicable dog stole all my belongings and even dug out my immortal roots. If I wasn't lucky, I would already be dead. I'm here to seek revenge." He spoke pitifully and with righteous indignation. The Thunder God tree also sympathized with him. That's right. That little hay dog called itself an immortal emperor and even said that it could bring me immortal liquid. That was why it stole everything from me. A few years have passed, and I haven't even seen a shadow of it. It must have run away. How despicable. What? That little hay dog actually called itself an immortal emperor? Even I don't dare to say that. What right does it have to say such a thing? Yang Wu said in agreement. Forget it, forget it. We're in the same boat, so I won't make things difficult for you. Let's go. No. I think we should discuss how to deal with that despicable little hay dog. It's already gone. How are we going to deal with it? Tell me where it is, and I'll deal with it. Do you see that? This is a god binding rope. As long as I see it, I'll tie it around its body. It won't be able to escape, and it'll be at our mercy. Okay. It went up, but I didn't see it come down again. I'm guessing that it went down from another direction. Didn't it say anything to you? For example, why did it go up there? Or what kind of commotion it caused? After being coaxed by Yang Wu, the lightning god tree told him everything about Little Hay. Before Little Hay took its lightning god fruit, it said that it wanted to return to the immortal world. This lightning mountain was formed by a corner of the immortal world. There might be a way back at the top of the mountain, but there might also be a way to death. Not long after it went up, it caused a strange phenomenon. Many divine thunderstorms descended in a frenzy, and there seemed to be the sound of rolling thunder. There was even the shadow of a huge dog that appeared. It was as if there were some extremely powerful living beings fighting each other. Even the lightning god tree was so frightened that it shriveled up. Through the lightning god tree's words, Yang Wu suspected that Little Hay had returned to the immortal world from the top of the mountain. Impossible. Without the void array, Little Hay wouldn't be able to return to the immortal world. It's also impossible for the void array to exist at the top of the lightning mountain. Yang Wu overturned his own suspicions. He couldn't wait to go up there and see where Little Hay had gone. Don't go up there. Even I can't stand the divine thunderstorms up there. If you go up there, I'm afraid you'll only die. The lightning god tree kindly advised. Many thanks, lightning god tree. If you're really thinking for me, then give me a branch. I can use it to open up a path. If I don't find Little Hay and take revenge, I swear I won't give up. Yang Wu said gratefully. He took out a bit of lightning god liquid and handed it to the lightning god tree. He wanted to use the lightning god liquid to exchange for it. When the lightning god tree sensed the lightning god liquid, it instantly stretched out its branch and absorbed it. After it absorbed the lightning god liquid, it was as if a drought had finally met with rain. Its trunk glowed with vitality. It cried out happily, "Is there any more lightning god liquid? Is there any more? Hurry up and give me more." "There's no more. This is all I have." Yang Wu spread out his hands and said, No, you're lying to me. You definitely have more. Hurry up and give me more. When I grow more fruits, I'll give you one." The lightning god tree was struck by lightning all year round. It wasn't that it wasn't afraid of lightning. It was that it had no choice but to take it head on. These divine thunderbolts were still very harmful to it. However, the lightning god liquid could erase the destructive power on its body and help it regain its vitality. It could also help it grow. When you grow more fruits, I won't even know where I am. Yang Wu despised it in his heart. On the surface, he still revealed a difficult expression and said, "I really don't have any more. I've only obtained a bit of lightning god liquid with great difficulty. I've already given it all to you in exchange for a branch. If you want a branch, I'll give it to you. As long as you give me another portion, I'll give it to you." The lightning god tree begged, "Please don't make things difficult for me. I really don't have any more." Yang Wu rejected it once again. Slap. "Aya, why did you hit me again? If you don't give me the lightning god liquid, I'll smack your butt until it blossoms. Hurry up and take it out. I really don't have any more. It's useless even if you force me. It seems like you're looking for trouble. Stop. Tell me where you can get the lightning god liquid. I'll go get it for you. This method works. I know where you can get it. I'm just afraid that you won't dare to go get it." Chapter 1491. Thunder God Elixir was located in a land of destruction. Only an extremely destructive environment would give birth to a trace of life. Thunder God Elixir was the divine elixir of life that was born from the destructive power of lightning. The Thunder God Elixir that Yang Wu obtained was born from the lightning tribulation clouds. Then, where was the Thunder God Elixir that the Thunder God tree was talking about? It used its branch to point in a direction. There was a lightning cliff not far from it, where the merciless power of lightning was wreaking havoc. That place was filled with boundless destructive power. Any living being that dared to approach, it would most likely die. I've seen Thunder God Elixir appear there before. It's a pity that I can't go near it. I'm afraid that you can't go near it either. Forget it. You should leave." The Thunder God tree sighed sadly. "Are you sure there's Thunder God Elixir there?" Yang Wu asked. "Definitely," the Thunder God tree said with certainty. "Then I'll go a try," Yang Wu replied. Carrying the pot shield, he flew towards the lightning cliff. Divine lightning was wreaking havoc there. It was even denser and more terrifying than the divine lightning he had absorbed before. It indeed possessed an extreme destructive power. He carefully looked inside and could only see a patch of lightning. It was hard to find any Thunder God elixir. However, he also felt that there was a possibility of Thunder God elixir appearing there. He needed to go deeper to find out. Yang Wu didn't hesitate. Carrying the pot shield, he transformed into a human-shaped divine turtle and charged into the lightning cliff. Rumble, rumble. Boundless divine lightning crazily bombarded him, causing his ears to feel pain and numbness. He urged his energy to create a rebounding field for the pot shield, preventing the divine lightning from getting close to him. He didn't dare to waste any time. He activated his strongest vision to search for Thunder God elixir. Opening his soul eye, he could see some things that were different from the rest. In the depths of the divine lightning, there was indeed a little bit of liquid on top of the flickering lightning. It was like tiny raindrops. It was destroyed by the lightning, but it also seemed like it was born from the lightning. It was Thunder God elixir. So Thunder God elixir was born together with the destructive divine lightning. Yang Wu suddenly realized, "Master, hurry up. The divine lightning here is too dense. The energy you're supplying me won't last long." The pot shield's artifact spirit cried out. Yang Wu came back to his senses and began to collect the lightning god liquid here. Not every bolt of lightning was accompanied by the Thunder God liquid. Only a portion of the lightning was accompanied by the Thunder God liquid. It wasn't easy for Yang Wu to collect them. He tried a few times to absorb the Thunder God elixir, but he could only absorb 1 or 2 drops. Such a harvest was too slow for him. If it were someone else, they would be very satisfied. He was not an ordinary person. He had a lot of Thunder divine elixir. Even if he gave a portion of it to the immortal immortality peach tree, it would still be a lot for him. He wasn't satisfied with this rate of absorption, but he didn't want to give up, so he had to think of another way. Right, let's see if my black demonic lightning orb can absorb this lightning divine liquid. Yang Wu thought of the black demon thunder orb that was nurtured in his body. He summoned it and controlled it to fly in the direction of the divine lightning. It was a part of his body, and he could control where it flew and what he needed it to do. At the same time, he was worried that it would be blasted into dust by the divine lightning. When the black demon thunder orb entered the divine lightning, it quickly attracted a large amount of divine lightning. Yang Wu stared at it nervously and sensed it. He found that it wasn't destroyed. Instead, it was absorbing the power of the divine lightning to strengthen itself. Yang Wu instantly breathed a sigh of relief. Next, he started to let it gather the Thunder God liquid. It listened to his instructions and started to absorb the drops of Thunder God liquid that splashed out. Many drops of Thunder God liquid quickly gathered toward it. During this time, divine lightning flashed and destroyed the drops of Thunder God liquid. Yang Wu was in a hurry. When dozens of drops of Thunder God liquid approached the black demon thunder orb, he quickly recalled the orb and brought the drops of Thunder God liquid back. Haga, Yang Wu laughed happily. These dozens of drops of Thunder God liquid were still not a lot. However, he was happy that he could get so much at once. If he continued to collect, he should be able to get a lot of Thunder God liquid. Although he still had a lot of Thunder God liquid, it consumed a lot. He was already very restrained and only kept a part of it. He was also very generous and often gave resources to his own people. If this continued, how could he withstand the consumption? Thus, he used the same method to collect more Thunder God liquid. Moreover, he activated his immortal energy to support the pot shield to block the divine lightning. When he couldn't hold on any longer, he was forced to leave. After he went outside, he only took out 10 drops of Thunder God liquid. Moreover, he pretended that he was seriously struck by the lightning. He went to the Thunder God tree and said pitifully, "I'm about to die. I only got this much Thunder God liquid. I need to recover my body." He used 2 drops of Thunder God liquid in front of the Thunder God tree. The Thunder God tree's heart ached. It didn't have the face to blame Yang Wu. He risked his life to get the Thunder God liquid for it. It couldn't bite the hand that fed it. He is indeed a good person. The Thunder God tree was moved. Just like that, Yang Wu used 8 drops of Thunder God liquid to exchange for a Thunder God tree branch. Other people would definitely use the Thunder God tree branch to forge divine weapons. However, he didn't plan to do so. He planned to cultivate a Thunder God tree. Not many people would dare to think of using the tree branch to cultivate a new tree. However, Yang Wu dared to do so. He had the immortal liquid. The immortal liquid was effective for all living things. It was even more effective for plants. He believed that he could cultivate it. After Yang Wu obtained the Thunder God tree branch, he returned to the Thunder Cliff and collected more Thunder God liquid. This place was incomparably dangerous, but there was still a lot of Thunder God liquid. After collecting a few more times, the amount of Thunder God liquid that appeared decreased. Only then did he leave this place and continue to head up. There was already a terrifying and heavy lightning cloud above his head. Even a pot shield might not be able to protect him. At this time, he could only rely on the divine weapon electric fork. Bring me up to the top to take a look. Yang Wu didn't care if the divine weapon electric fork agreed or not. He activated the power of the immortal root and activated the power of the divine weapon electric fork. He brought it up to the terrifying lightning cloud above his head. Rumble, rumble. In an instant, it was as if 5 bolts of lightning had struck. The destructive power was enough to wipe out all living things. This was definitely comparable to the power of a true god. The pot shield's defensive power exploded. Even it couldn't defend against it. The pressure on Yang Wu instantly increased. The black tortoise battle armor on his body couldn't block the power of the divine lightning. The layer of Emperor Jade battle armor covering his body couldn't block it either. He was instantly blasted into a pool of blood. In just a moment, he would definitely be turned into dust by this terrifying power. At the crucial moment, the divine weapon electric fork blossomed with dazzling radiance. A spirit of the weapon appeared and swallowed 10,000 lightning bolts. At the same time, a ray of multicolored light soared into the sky, pushing away the numerous lightning bolts and thunderclouds. A safe passage appeared. Yang Wu transformed into a dragon and shot up into the sky. He leaped over the lightning cloud and arrived at the top of the mountain. Yang Wu took a deep breath and refined the Thunder God liquid to recover from his injuries. Looking around, he saw layers of lightning clouds stacked on top of each other. Streaks of lightning flickered like dragons. This majestic scene was truly fascinating. The top of the mountain was flat. It was as if someone had cut off the top of the mountain. It was as if he had arrived at flat ground. Yang Wu landed on the flat top and looked at the boundless lightning clouds. His mood was inexplicably surging. He then looked at the words left on the ground. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Little Li, I'm going to be in the human immortal world. Little Wu, this immortal emperor has temporarily left the human realm. I don't know if I can return to the immortal realm, so I can only leave my fate to the damned heavens. But you can rest assured, this immortal emperor has great fortune and was once invincible in the 6 realms. No matter what dangers I encounter, I won't die. Our fates are intertwined, and we will meet again in the future. Don't die prematurely. This immortal emperor will lose a human pet, and my heart will ache. All right, here's something this immortal emperor left for you. It's the Thunder God fruit, which is of great use to your cultivation. Remember, you must only consume it after reaching the immortal realm. Otherwise, you won't be able to withstand the medicinal efficacy. It's best if you refine it into a pill to maximize its value. And I'll also leave this dragon and phoenix sword to you, so that you won't always say that this immortal emperor is greedy for your things. When this immortal emperor reaches the immortal realm in the future, I'll let you see what an immortal item is. All right, I won't accompany you anymore. Don't ask me how I knew that you would come to find this immortal emperor. It was rare for little Hay to nag so much. In the end, she even stamped a paw print. Next to the paw print was an yin and yang ring. It was the item that little Hay had left for him. Is this fella really not afraid of others taking it away? Yang Wu said as he picked up the yin and yang ring. Just as he held the yin and yang ring, a wave of willpower suddenly appeared, giving Yang Wu a big fright. Woof woof, little Hay, do you think that I didn't leave anything behind and gave these things to others? You underestimate this immortal emperor's methods too much. If it wasn't for your aura, Once you got close to the yin and yang ring, my willpower would be able to kill you on the spot. If I couldn't kill you, the yin and yang ring would explode on its own, and everything inside would be destroyed. You wouldn't be able to get anything out of it. Little Hei's shadow appeared in front of Yang Wu and said. Yang Wu smiled bitterly and said, Little Hei, what are you doing? There's no void formation here. How are you going to leave this place and return to the immortal world? Are you kidding me? You don't know this, right? This Thunder God Mountain is only a section of the mountain. The real Thunder God Mountain is not here. There's a special connection between the two mountains. It's isolated by the immortal emperor's methods and can't be merged back together. This immortal emperor can use these clues to build a temporary void formation to help me escape through the void and find the way back to the immortal world. When did you become so powerful? You can even build a void formation. Woof woof, what do you mean by this? When was this immortal emperor not powerful? It's just that my power has been sealed. This immortal emperor borrowed the power of this divine thunder and unsealed a trace of my power. It's enough to support me to roam the 6 realms. Kid, you came later than I expected. You're too disappointing. In the future, don't tell anyone that you're this immortal emperor's human pet. Chapter 1492. In the end, Little Hei had left the transcendent realm. Yang Wu could only silently wish it well in his heart. Little Hei, take care. In his heart, Little Hei had an irreplaceable position. Without it, he would not be who he was today. He was extremely grateful to Little Hei, but he did not know how to repay it. Perhaps when he became an invincible existence, he would be qualified to talk about helping it. Perhaps it was just as it said, it was an immortal emperor. Before he became an immortal emperor, how could he help it? At the top of the mountain, there was no divine lightning descending. Everything was extremely peaceful. He stood there and did not move for a long time, but a wave of emotions surged in his heart. The Thunder God Mountain was a divine mountain, and it was only a section of the mountain. What would the real Thunder God Mountain look like? Suddenly, he yearned to step into the divine realm, the immortal realm, and travel the 6 realms. He wanted to see what the great wide world was like and what it would be like. When he came back to his senses, he summoned the Black Demon Thunder Orb and threw it into the thunderclouds. The Black Demon Thunder Orb needed to absorb the power of lightning to increase its level. This was his life orb. He did not know what use it had for the time being, so he would strengthen it first. At the same time, he also absorbed the power of lightning here to nourish the heavenly thunderbone and temper his body. The power of the divine lightning here was so powerful that even overlord-level experts could not get close. Only true God-level experts could reach the top of this place. Yang Wu had such an opportunity, so he had to cherish it. Not only was the heavenly thunderbone absorbing the power of the divine lightning, but Blue Demonis was also crazily absorbing the lightning fire here to continue to strengthen its level. Ever since it broke through to the divine realm, it had not been replenished by divine realm flame for a long time. Yang Wu, the Black Demon Thunder Orb, and Blue Demonis were all increasing their strength at the same time. Everything was developing in a good direction. Suddenly, Yang Wu saw the shadow of a dragon or snake flashing in the thunderclouds in the distance. It looked like a dragon, a snake, or a flood dragon. It flashed past. Its appearance could not be seen clearly. In short, it was incomparably huge and frightening. This is a danger zone. I can't stay here for long. Time to go. Yang Wu muttered to himself as he recalled the Black Demon Lightning Orb and began to think of a way to leave this place. Just as he was about to use the electric fork again, the Black Demon Thunder Orb seemed to sense something, telling Yang Wu that it could avoid lightning and bring him back. Yang Wu said in astonishment, "You can still sense what I'm thinking in my heart. As expected, you were born by me. Could it be that this is the same thing as the Sarira of Buddhism?" The Black Demonic Thunder Orb didn't respond. It could only sense what Yang Wu needed, what he wanted, and what it could do. It had the effect of preventing lightning. Thus, Yang Wu held it in his hand, stepped into the sea of lightning, and began to descend. The Black Demonic Thunder Orb released a repulsive force that isolated the divine lightning in the surroundings. The repulsive force seemed to have added a layer of protection to Yang Wu as it followed him all the way to the bottom of the sea of lightning. While descending, Yang Wu could also sense the existence of some thunder god elixir from the thunderclouds. Without hesitation, he reached out and collected it bit by bit. Every drop of thunder god elixir was a life-saving divine elixir to living beings. Yang Wu would never complain about having too many of such divine items. After a long while, he passed through the thunderclouds and returned to the Thunder God Mountain. He did not suffer any more attacks. When he returned, he saw the Thunder God tree again. He said to the Thunder God tree, "That little hay hound really did escape. Looks like I won't be able to get my revenge." The Thunder God tree was astonished. "You really ran to the top of the mountain?" "Yes." "Then how did you manage to come back alive?" "Why can't I come back alive? In the past, there were some living beings that were stronger than you who wanted to reach the top, but were all killed." "Oh, so you wanted me to die? To think that I even gave you a lot of Thunder God elixir. How disappointing." "That's not what I meant. I just wanted to say that you are a powerful human. Since you know that I am powerful, why don't you leave with me? I could give you more Thunder God elixir to help you grow." "Forget it. This is the most suitable place for me to grow. If it was somewhere else, I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to survive." "Don't worry. Who knows, I might have some immortal elixir. Just a drop would be enough for you to be reborn. I know you're quite capable, but forget it. If I don't get struck by lightning for a day, my body will itch." Yang Wu was still unable to convince the Thunder God tree. He could only go down the mountain alone. If he wanted to cultivate the tree branch into a tree, he would probably have to plant it in a place with dense lightning. This kind of tree relied on absorbing lightning to survive. A different place might not be suitable for it to grow. Before he went down, he had to think about how to avoid Lei Yaoxuan's pursuit. Lei Yaoxian was an overlord-level expert. If he wasn't careful, he could die in his hands. Yang Wu thought for a while before gripping the divine weapon electric fork and saying, "At the crucial moment, I can only go all out against him." At the same time, he began to communicate with Yu Huaijin's soul, asking her to quickly come to the Thunder God Mountain to receive him. Only Yu Huaijin could intimidate Lei Yaoxian. Martial Marquis Gang's territory was not far from here. Yu Huaijin would only need a short while to rush over. Yang Wu decided to go down slowly. He was not in a hurry. Instead, he collected some divine items and sacred items. With the Black Demon Lightning Orb's lightning protection, he was like a fish in water in this environment. He was not afraid of divine lightning. If needed, he could let it absorb divine lightning to refine his body. It was quite convenient. In the mountain, he collected some thunder-generating grass, thunder-concealing flower, thunder god root, etc. These were all good things that were very useful for lightning cultivators. He could not help but think of Yang Zixing. If he brought him here to cultivate, he would be able to achieve twice the results with half the effort. Thinking of this, he decided to bring Yang Zixing over and nurture him into a peerless genius of the Martial Marquis Gang. When he recovered his memories, it would not be too late for him to return to the Yang clan. "He's here." After Yang Wu sensed Yu Huaijin's intent, he knew that she had already come to the Thunder God Mountain. He could finally go down the mountain with peace of mind. When he went down the mountain again, Lei Yaoxian was still there. He had been waiting for Yang Wu, not giving him a chance to escape. "Let's see how you escape this time." After Lei Yaoxian saw Yang Wu, he pounced towards Yang Wu. He did not plan to give Yang Wu any chance to use the electric fork's magnetic field. "Big brother, don't be rash. My helpers are already here. Look behind you." Yang Wu calmly replied. Lei Yaoxian did not care about what Yang Wu said. He still planned to capture him first. Just as he was about to touch Yang Wu, he felt a wind behind his head. He was so scared that he quickly dodged. If he was any slower, his head would have been blown apart. "It's you." After Lei Yaoxian saw who it was, his expression changed greatly. This woman was an existence that could rival him in Yamaox. He was alone. How could he deal with her? "You dare to hurt my young master. Today, I will kill you and end all troubles." Yu Huaijin turned into a fairy filled with killing intent. Her aura enveloped Lei Yaoxian and attacked him. "I might be afraid of you in other places, but I am not afraid of you here," Lei Yaoxian shouted. Not only did he not escape, He even took the initiative to fight with Yu Huaijin. Lei Yaoxian was indeed someone who cultivated the power of lightning. When he made his move, the surrounding power of lightning surged towards Yu Huaijin and bombarded him. Yu Huaijin felt the pressure and realized that it was not the best choice to fight here. She could only remind Yang Wu, "Young master, you go down the mountain first. I will be there in a while." "Brat, why are you in such a hurry? I just want to talk with you. I have no intention of attacking you." Lei Yaoxian anxiously shouted. Yang Wu did not reply, nor did he go down. Instead, he watched the two fight. The two of them attacked very quickly. Their fists and palms intersected continuously. The power of lightning in all directions was constantly splashing in all directions. Lei Yaoxian used the geographical advantage to attack fiercely. The increase in power was indeed powerful. However, he was also restraining himself. He was afraid that he would attract a powerful wave of divine lightning that would injure him. Yu Huaijin was even more so. She originally wanted to take the opportunity to kill Lei Yaoxian. Seeing that Yang Wu did not leave, she could not help but feel anxious. If Lei Yaoxian attracted a large wave of divine lightning, she would not be able to protect herself. At this time, Yang Wu said, "Let's talk. Huaijin, come back." Yu Huaijin retreated to Yang Wu's side. Lei Yaoxian did not mind. Lei Yaoxian heaved a sigh of relief. "I was wondering why you were so cautious. I said I would not do anything to you. Why didn't you believe me? Even if he had a slight advantage, he would have to pay a huge price if they really fought. If you're not careful, you'll not even know what happened if you're killed. Besides, you and I are enemies, not friends," replied Yang Wu. Okay, you are right. I just want to ask you how you came out of the divine firmament forbidden ground." Lei Yaoxian did not beat around the bush and cut to the chase. "Isn't it the purple firmament palace's forbidden ground? You actually don't know how I came out?" Yang Wu sneered. The divine firmament battlefield was definitely not exclusive to the purple firmament palace. Although there was also a purple firmament camp there, the two did not have much to do with each other. His appearance in the divine firmament battlefield probably did not have much to do with the purple firmament palace. It was more to do with the existence of the young martial god. He did not know what method he had used to move him to the divine firmament battlefield. Of course, he could not rule out the possibility that the purple firmament palace's divine array was a void array. Lei Yaoxian was choked by Yang Wu's words. If he knew, would he still ask? The divine firmament forbidden ground is just a legendary place in the purple firmament palace. Not many people have entered. Even if they did, they would not appear again. No one knows the secrets inside, except for the gods of the divine world. Unfortunately, they did not tell us about it. What does that have to do with me? If you want to know the situation there, show some sincerity. Chapter 1493. The divine firmament battlefield was extremely mysterious. Only those who had experienced it would know that the waters ran deep there. How could it be the purple firmament palace's forbidden ground? Perhaps it was the purple firmament palace's forbidden ground in the divine world. Moreover, there were many secrets involved there. Be it humans, demons, or demons, they all gathered there. It was not a place that only belonged to one race. Yang Wu thought that the purple firmament palace would more or less know about the situation there. Unexpectedly, they did not know anything at all. And if they wanted to know, they would have to pay a price. "What do you want?" Lei Yaoxian asked. Then he seemed to have thought of something and quickly said, "If you want to see Yu, I can't help you with this. She has already gone to the divine world." "Then there's nothing more to say. Everyone, please go ahead," Yang Wu said with a solemn expression. He really wanted to know about Ziyu's whereabouts. Now that the other party had sealed his mouth, there was no room for discussion. Even though he already knew that Ziyu had left, he still felt uncomfortable when he heard it from the other party. Ever since Ziyu went to the transcendent world, they had spent more time apart than together. He had already accumulated a lot of dissatisfaction in his heart, and all of this was caused by the Purple Firmament Palace. If the Purple Firmament Palace had agreed to their marriage, there would not be so many problems. What right did the Purple Firmament Palace have to look down on Yang Wu? Even if he came from a humble background, he had also risen up and was one of the most respected people in the transcendent world. He was worthy of Zuu. He could only blame the Purple Firmament Palace for being too ambitious. In order to curry favor with people from the divine world, they even casually offered their own saintess. Yang Wu, can you speak properly? Why can I speak properly? If it weren't for your Purple Firmament Palace, Zuu and I would already be living together. Who knows? We might even have children running around. What right does your Purple Firmament Palace have to decide her life? What right do you have to send her to the God Realm? Yes, you're powerful and domineering, but I don't care. She's my woman, even before she returned to your Purple Firmament Hall. You broke us apart, and one day, I'll destroy your Purple Firmament Hall and let you have a taste of being domineering. Yang Wu said resentfully. It's useless even if you're angry with me. The Purple Firmament Palace's strength is not something you can imagine. With a casual move from the divine realm, any faction in the transcendent world would be annihilated. Do you think you can deal with the gods of the divine realm? Don't be naive. There are countless women in the world. Our Purple Firmament Hall also has many beautiful women. If you are willing to put down your weapons, I can make the decision to marry them to you. Lei Yaoxian said this because he really wanted to resolve his grudge with Yang Wu. If it were someone else, he would not waste his breath. Yang Wu waved his hand and said, if I really need women, I can just wave my hand. You and I are childhood sweethearts. It's not something you can understand. All right, there's no point in continuing. We'll see in the future. With that, Yang Wu prepared to leave. Lei Yaoxian added, as long as you tell me everything about the forbidden area, I can tell you everything about you. In the future, when you go to the God Realm, you might have a chance to see her. Yang Wu stopped in his tracks and said in a low voice, you haven't even been to the God Realm. How would you know everything about her? Haha, every faction has some secrets that no one knows. Our Purple Firmament Palace is no exception. All right, let's exchange information. Yang Wu told Lei Yaoxian some of the situation in the divine firmament battlefield. His words were not all true. Some were true, and some were false. It was hard to tell the truth. Lei Yaoxian knew very well that he had also told Yang Wu some information about the Purple Firmament Palace. As for how trustworthy it was, only he knew. I hope you're telling the truth, the two said at the same time. It was obvious that the two of them did not believe each other. They did not continue to pester each other and went their own ways. In such a hostile situation, who would expect someone to speak the truth? After Yang Wu and Lei Yaoxian separated, he asked Yu Huaijin, how much of what he said is true? Full of lies, Yu Huaijin replied with disdain. As expected, Yang Wu sighed softly. He then said, do you know anything about the Purple Firmament Palace? I've heard a little. It's not a weak faction. What kind of answer is that? Tell me more details. The divine firmament is vast and boundless. Any faction that has a little bit of reputation is extraordinary. However, compared to those ancient factions, they're still far behind. For example, the Medicine God Palace is one of the ancient factions. Young Master, as a disciple of the Medicine God Palace, when you get your identity verified, you can go to the Purple Firmament Palace and ask for a woman. They will definitely offer it to you immediately. Even if you need their palace master's wife, they won't dare to refuse. Is the Medicine God Palace that powerful? Of course, so young master, don't be discouraged. When you reach the divine firmament, she won't be able to run anywhere. The prerequisite is that you can get the recognition of the Medicine God Palace. Haha, with my talent, how can I not get their recognition? At this moment, Yang Wu was in a good mood. The Purple Firmament Palace had always been a huge stone in his heart. Now that Yu Huaijin had cleared his doubts, he did not have such worries anymore. The Medicine God Palace was an existence that others looked up to, but it was not so in his eyes. He was already a moon-class disciple. When he continued to grow, his level would only be high and not low. He did not believe that he could not get the recognition of the Medicine God Palace. Yu Huaijin also felt that Yang Wu would definitely get the recognition of the Medicine God Palace. After entering the Medicine God Palace, it would not be a problem for him to get the identity of a true disciple. Yang Wu went to the place where Run Gang was in seclusion. He had already come out. Greetings, Faction Master. Ren Gang kneeled on one knee and saluted. With this kneel, he had already decided to follow Yang Wu loyally. Yang Wu looked at Ren Gang, who was more than 10 years younger, and said with a gratified smile, "A wise man submits to circumstances. Follow this faction, master. You will not lose out." He was a godly alchemist, and there were many godly realm experts who wanted to follow him. For someone like Ren Gang, who had just entered the divine firmament realm, he did not put them in his eyes. The group went down the mountain. After Yang Wu returned to Wuho Gang, he ordered Nan Shuchen to open the gang and accept disciples. Now that Wuho Gang had stabilized the 4 factions and became the strongest faction in this area, it was time to accept disciples and nurture the next generation of successors. Yang Wu did not need to worry about these things. Someone would take care of it. As Wuho Gang started accepting disciples, it caused quite a commotion in Kunlun's field. Kunlun's field had always been the world of Kunlun's sect. Almost all the factions in this area respected Kunlun. This new force, Wuho Gang, was so high profile. Were they not afraid of Kunlun's sect coming to suppress them? Soon, there was news that Wuho Gang had a deep relationship with the Apothecary Alliance. This was thought-provoking. Who did not know that Yang Wu was the honorary vice leader of the Apothecary Alliance, and Yang Wu had just defeated Kunlun's sect master Kun Mingzi not long ago? What was Wuho Gang trying to achieve by making such a big fuss? However, Wuho Gang was in a position opposite Kunlun. They were far apart, and Kunlun was not in a hurry to make them submit. This also gave Wuho Gang room to develop. Nan Shuchen's ability was not bad. He handled all kinds of things steadily. Wuho Gang developed steadily. Yang Wu did not care about these things. Wuho Gang would be reorganized sooner or later. For now, he would let it develop first. He was wholeheartedly guarding Meng Bingxue. It had been 10 months since she had refined the Ice Soul Divine Heart. There was still no sign of her breaking out of the ice. He was a little anxious. Although he was letting her get through this by herself, how could he not care about her? If he had not sensed that she still had a trace of life, he would have broken the ice to save her. Suddenly, the ice crystals began to shrink. Wisps of mist began to evaporate. The hazy water vapor was like a celestial mirror. It was very beautiful. This was a phenomenon caused by the melting and shrinking of the ice crystals. Not only that, but there was also cold qi madly gathering from the surroundings. The invisible power of the stars shot down from the 9 heavens and gathered on Meng Bingshua's body. She was finally coming out of seclusion. Yang Wu said to Yu Huaijin, "Seal off the influence here." He did not want too many people to pay attention to the situation here. After Meng Bingxue broke through, she would become his substitute. She would stay here and not attract too much attention. The power of the ice crystals gathered in her body. Her chest emitted a dazzling light. Her cold heart contained endless power. Her cultivation level was rising steadily. 2-star vein lines, 3-star vein lines, 4-star vein lines. In the end, it stopped at 8-star lines, forming a starry road. The surrounding cold qi did not decrease, but increased. Large amounts of plants were frozen to death. The people of Wuho Gang felt extremely cold. If Yu Huaijin had not sealed off the area, they would have frozen to death. Yang Wu also felt the chill in his bones. He praised in his heart, "Done." Meng Bingxue did not disappoint him. With the Ice Soul Divine Heart, she reached the 8-star line realm. After she stabilized for a while, she would take the immortal liquid and reach the peak of the Saint realm. It would be enough for her to guard Wuho Gang. Meng Bingxue opened her eyes. The area in front of her was frozen. The terrifying cold qi was chilling. She took a deep breath and withdrew all the cold qi. She looked at Yang Wu and said, "I'm sorry. I can't control this power well." I'll give you a hand then." Yang Wu answered and flew up to the sky with Meng Bingxue. He then started to attack her. Yang Wu suppressed the power of his realm. He could still use the power of a peak saint. The ferocious palm attack enveloped Meng Bingxue. Meng Bingxue reacted quickly. She slapped out a domineering cold qi. The surrounding clouds were covered by the cold qi, forming a layer of ice. Her strength had increased by a lot, and the ice qi she contained was also extraordinary, greatly increasing her lethality. Your power is not bad, but it's not enough, Yang Wu said. He increased his power and shattered the layers of ice. Meng Bingxue was also sent flying. Suddenly, a layer of ice armor covered Meng Bingxue's body. A pair of ice wings grew out. Let's see how powerful my talent is. Ice armor divine wings. Chapter 1494. She was covered in ice armor and had a pair of ice wings. Her ice power was enough to freeze everything within 10,000 miles. At this moment, Meng Bingxue was like an ice goddess. She was extremely charming and cold. This was her newly awakened talent. It greatly increased her defense, speed, and fighting power. When she launched her attack, it was indeed much stronger than before. She held the ice sword in her hand and crazily attacked Yang Wu. Yang Wu, on the other hand, uses Immortal Moon and Mirror technique to imitate her attacking methods and counterattack. Meng Bingxue's power had increased a lot. She could even win against a top-tier saint. Yang Wu had to increase his strength to counter her attacks. He also felt that the ice power she released was overbearing. It was not something that people at the same level could withstand. After a while, Meng Bingxue could finally control her ice power. Meng Bingxue retracted all her power. Her beautiful eyes were filled with gratitude. Wu, don't worry. Let me be your substitute. I will definitely do a good job. Yes, I will leave this place to you. I hope that Wu Ho Gang will become stronger and stronger. Yang Wu replied. The next moment, Meng Bingxue jumped into his arms and kissed him on the lips. He was caught off guard. When he was hesitating whether he should push her away or not, she had already pushed him away. I will wait until you truly accept me. Even if it takes forever, I will wait. Meng Bingxue said and returned to Wu Ho Gang. Yang Wu looked at her beautiful figure, his face full of helplessness. He was really not good at dealing with matters of the heart. It would be better to chop off the enemy's head. After Yang Wu handed Wu Ho Gang to Meng Bingxue, he ordered Jin Yu Chun and Jin Yu how to help her achieve her goal. Yang Wu did not treat the two brothers unfairly. He gave them a lot of cultivation resources. The two brothers had long admired Yang Wu to the point of prostrating themselves before him. They didn't have any complaints and agreed. Meng Bingxue had Nangong Chongjian and Rin Gang by her side to protect her. Presumably, Wu Ho Bang would not be in any big trouble for the time being. It's time to walk the world for myself. Yang Wu murmured and walked in a certain direction. There were still 15 years before the Martial Sage Conference, and he planned to spend 10 years traveling the world. His first stop was the sun-devouring realm. He wanted to see how Skinny Monkey was doing and whether he was bullied by others. This was his brother. Whoever bullied his brother, he would use his fist to ask the other party why they bullied his brother. The distance between realms was extremely far. Yang Wu did not rely on the thunder tribulation clouds to fly. He only wanted to have his own bitter cultivation. He had been too nervous all these years. Every day was a struggle, but his cultivation level was still rising a little too quickly, which made him feel a little worried. Sometimes, slowing down might not be a good thing. He thought of the 18 bronze man swords that he had obtained from the Hongshan sect, the world-destroying wild blade, and all kinds of combat skills that he had not practiced yet. He could practice them all again. Traveling the world was an interesting thing. He could take a good look at the world. The world was so big that nothing was too strange, and the world was so big that it was full of wonderful things. When he was in the mortal realm, Yang Wu only stayed in the Great Xia, and the furthest he went was the barbarian race. When he came to the transcendent realm, he went to many places, but he did not have the time to stop and take a look. Every time, he was in a hurry, and it was hard for him to appreciate the great rivers and mountains of the transcendent realm. The mortal realm was divided into 81 realms, and the transcendent realm was only one of them. Since it was so vast and boundless, the other realms would not be any worse. If he could see all the mountains and rivers, his heart would be able to contain them, and it would be of great use to his cultivation. When he started to move, a fat Taoist suddenly appeared beside him. It was Taoist Zhu, who was riding on the flying boar. Yang Wu had a good impression of Taoist Zhu. He cupped his hands and said, "Greetings, senior." "Hee, you flatter me. I'm only a few years older than you, the Yang family head by far. Taoist Zhu waved his hands and said, I still haven't thanked Senior for saving my life. Thank you for your help. If there is anything you need me to help you with, just let me know. Yang Wu said sincerely, I do have something I need your help with. I'm tired of traveling the world alone. Why don't you accompany me? Taoist Zhu said seriously. Yang Wu said without hesitation, sure. He did not know how Taoist Zhu knew that he wanted to travel the world, but since he invited him, he would just go with the flow. Thus, Yang Wu and Taoist Zhu traveled the world together. Taoist Zhu had the flying boar, and Yang Wu had the silver-patterned tortoise. When he was prepared to travel the world, he had already called the silver-patterned tortoise over. All these years, the silver-patterned tortoise had been cultivating hard. Its speed of improvement was not slow, and it had already reached the level of a high-level demon saint. Its appearance was becoming more and more like a black tortoise. From afar, it looked like a black tortoise. It was very mighty. He had benefited from Little Hei's help. It was because of the demon path blood tempering technique that Little Hei had taught him that he could continuously improve his bloodline power and improve by leaps and bounds. In addition, Yang Wu had also given him a lot of resources. It was not surprising that he had reached his current level of strength. The two of them first went to Kunlun's field. They did not enter the bustling cities. Instead, they went to the remote villages to see how the commoners lived. They also wanted to see how the creatures of the other races in the great wilderness swamp lived. They wanted to experience the local customs of each region. Taoist Zhu was very talkative. He would point at him wherever he went. Little Wu, what do you think of that girl? Her butt is very big. She's definitely made for babies. Hey, Little Wu, look. That big sister over there is so shy. If I can talk to her about romance, wouldn't that be great? Where do you think you're going, Demoness? I am a Taoist who slays demons and upholds justice. I will not allow a scourge like you to harm the human world. If I don't go to hell, who will? Taoist Zhu was very interested in women, especially those with big breasts and big butts. He did not care if they were beautiful or not. His eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. Fortunately, this guy did not use force to snatch them. Otherwise, he would be like Jiang Ping. Yang Wu gradually became familiar with Taoist Zhu. When he asked why Taoist Zhu wanted to bring him to travel the world, Taoist Zhu boasted shamelessly, "This world is my world. Of course I have to see it." After a pause, he said, "But it won't be in the future. It will be your world." Yang Wu did not understand what Taoist Zhu meant. He simply put down his identity and blended into the lives of the commoners. When he passed by the mountain village, he would help an old man who was injured from hunting. When he saw a child who was scared to tears by a monster, he would also help. When a village girl threw a flirtatious glance at him, he would respond with a smile and charm her. Unknowingly, his state of mind suddenly became open-minded. He had been working hard to cultivate and become a person above others. However, he had forgotten that he was once the most ordinary young man. All living things were equal when they came, but they were just a cup of yellow soil when they left. Along the way, Yang Wu saw some commoners grow old and die of illness. He also saw some villages being attacked by ferocious beasts. He also saw some places thriving and developing. There were ups and downs. Everything had its own rules. In addition, he also passed by some dangerous places and saw some strange races. He met some creatures with very strong combat power and occasionally obtained some rare treasures. The Great Thousand World was truly filled with all sorts of strange things, and it was filled with all sorts of wonderful things. Many of them were things that Yang Wu had never seen before. There were also things that were not recorded in books. As he walked, he copied Taoist Zhu. He took out a pen and paper and started to record what he saw and heard. In the withered swamp, there are snake crocodiles. They are very aggressive and poisonous. At the top of the crown tree, there are golden-crowned bird nests. Anyone who gets close will die. There are small yin-yang flowers when the moon is about to fall and the sun is about to rise. He and Taoist Zhu spent a year and a half to finish walking through Kunlun's field. After that, they moved to other realms and kept the time within a year. They left for 10 years. The world seemed to have forgotten about him, the leader of the Yang clan. With each level and domain, The scenery he saw was completely different. The culture and customs of each place were also different. He understood the etiquette of many different races, learned some of their unique ways of survival, and also understood how they passed down generation after generation. Some races were declining, and some were rising. He was also memorizing all of this in his heart. The two of them became nameless wanderers. Only some villagers would occasionally mention that a young man riding a turtle and a fat man riding a pig were good people. They were gods that had descended. 10 years later, the two of them returned to Wuho Gang. Little Woozy, it's a trip of 10 years. It's time for us to part. 10 years had not left any marks on their faces. Even when they were about to part, the two of them did not show the slightest bit of worry. Before we part, I still have to ask, Brother Zhu, is your surname really Zhu? Yang Wu asked seriously. Taoist Zhu didn't reply. Flying Pig quickly answered, My surname is Zhu. My surname is Zhu. The fat Taoist knocked on the Flying Pig's body in annoyance and said, Pig your head. I'll never change my name or surname. Zhu Buxiang. Zhu Buxiang, the #1 genius in the world. I've heard so much about you. Yang Wu cupped his hands and smiled. Heard so much about you? Do you know why I want to accompany you on this trip? Taoist Zhu asked. I don't know. You're even more stupid than me. The creatures in this world live a peaceful life. This world is still beautiful. I hope you can protect it and not destroy it. It's been 10 years. I haven't even reached the first level. I don't have that ability. The birth of the god fetus and the demon fetus means that the world will be in chaos. Not only the human world, but even the 6 realms won't be peaceful. You, Yang Wu, can't stay out of this. You're the child of destiny. All lives depend on you. Plus, I've been watching you for 10 years. Chapter 1495. Taoist Zhu left. After saying some strange words, he left. Yang Wu was confused. What kind of child of destiny was he? He only wanted to be a carefree martial artist, a martial artist who could come and go at any time. Yes, an outstanding divine apothecary would be enough. Previously, the oracle had said that the divine fetus and demon fetus were born because of him. The divine fetus was brought back by him, so Yang Jinghai had the chance to be reborn. The demon fetus was completely his seed. If they really fought, he really couldn't stay out of it. Yang Wu felt a headache just thinking about it. He thought to himself, if little He was here, I wouldn't have such a headache. Yang Wu returned to Wuho Gang, and the selection of the Martial Saint Assembly finally began. Every realm would choose 10,000 of the strongest saints to participate in the Martial Saint Assembly. 10,000 saints sounded like a lot, but every realm had countless people, and saints had a long lifespan. There were many saints who usually didn't show their talents, but this time they would all appear together. In the 108 realms, there were a total of 1,080,000 saints who could participate in the Martial Saint Assembly. In the end, there would be another 10,000 people left to participate in the Thousand Saints Assembly. One could imagine how fierce the competition would be. The forces of the various realms began to follow the ancient teachings and opened the ancient arenas of each realm. After layers of selection, they could enter the final selection. This was a grand event of 1,000 years, a grand event of the transcendent realm. It was a grand event that no saint wanted to miss. Each realm would use a total of 2 years to conduct the selection, and then another 2 years for the final selection. In the 5th year, 10,000 seed saints would be chosen to enter the Thousand Saints Assembly. For a time, many saints of each realm appeared, presenting a lively scene that was rarely seen. The Sacred War hadn't completely started yet, but famous saints had already emerged from each realm. For example, Kuan Mingzi of the Kunlun realm already had the momentum of being the #1 saint of the Kunlun realm. If he hadn't lost to Yang Wu back then, he might have been able to become the champion of the Martial Saint Assembly. In addition, there was also the Martial Marquis Association's association leader. This association leader, who was known as Martial Marquis, had a very powerful cultivation in the power of ice. His most famous battle was when he defeated Nangong Changjian, who was at the Jade Moon realm. After several years of cultivation, he would definitely become even more powerful. A fifth saint had appeared in the Jizhou border. It was rumored that he had a special bloodline power and had killed a half-step heavenly arrival realm cultivator. In the Jin world, there was a swordsman who called himself the Little Sword Saint. He was the #1 swordsman in the Jin world. In places like Dian world and Tibetan world, there were different sages who suddenly appeared. Not only were there people from the giant forces, but there were also sages who were not famous. Yang Wu had left for 10 years, ignoring the affairs of Jianghu. Occasionally, he would hear some rumors, but he never took them to heart. When he returned to the Wu Hou gang, he called Meng Bingxue, Jin Yuchen, and Jin Yuhao. He asked them to teach him a lesson. During these 10 years, Yang Wu's cultivation didn't increase at all. He was still at the 9th level of the Star Rune realm, and was only a step away from the 10th level. This was the longest time he hadn't had a breakthrough. However, he gave Meng Bingxue, Jin Yuchen, and Jin Yuhao a deeper feeling. His aura was completely hidden, and it was hard to tell that he was a warrior. Instead, he was more like an ordinary young man without any killing power. The three of them attacked at the same time, and they didn't show any mercy. Meng Bingxue's cultivation had soared to the 12th level of the Star Rune realm. Her speed of improvement was much faster than Jin Yuchen and Jin Yuhao. The latter two had broken through 2 levels in 10 years, which was considered fast, but they still felt like they couldn't catch up. Jin Yuchen and Jin Yuhao were the top geniuses. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the top 100 of the Heavenly Dragon ranking. The reason why Meng Bingxue could improve so fast was because she had refined the Ice Soul Divine Heart. The Ice Soul Divine Heart had once again improved her cultivation physique, and in the past 10 years, she had been cultivating day and night, using Yang Wu's resources to display an abnormal cultivation ability. As expected of the previous Saintess of Kunlun, the Saintess of Kunlun was a 1 in 100 seedling. If she hadn't been delayed for a while, she wouldn't be any weaker than Kun Mingzi. And now, she had finally caught up. Jin Yuchen and Jin Yuhao broke through 3 levels in 10 years. It seemed slow, but in reality, they were using the resources Yang Wu gave them to strengthen their foundations. They were planning to break through to the Jade Moon realm in the future. They had already caught up to Yang Wu's level. With their age, it was definitely not easy for them to reach their current level of strength. They thought they had closed the gap between them and Yang Wu, but in the end, the 3 of them were sent flying by Yang Wu's fist. Your realms have increased a lot, but your martial arts aren't pure enough. Just your aura alone isn't solid enough. You still need to understand your own Tao and be indomitable. Only then can you be unstoppable. As Yang Wu spoke to them, he punched towards the sky. One punch to break heaven and earth. This punch was the result of his 10 years of hard work. The 3 of them looked at the exploding sky, dumbfounded. Was this the difference of 10 years? Wasn't this too big? Yang Wu brought the silver-patterned tortoise to the Apothecary Alliance to see Chao Jifei and Miao Miao. These years, Chao Jifei had been managing the Apothecary Alliance. She had become more and more adept at it, but her cultivation had never stopped. Unfortunately, she was still young. It wasn't easy for her to squeeze into the top 10,000. Fortunately, the Apothecary Alliance didn't lack divine items. If she wanted to use divine items to increase her strength, it wasn't impossible. Yang Wu couldn't bear her resentful gaze. He hurriedly gave her a drop of immortal liquid and wanted to take the opportunity to slip away. He had seen her gaze on Meng Bingxue and Yin Qi. It made him panic. He had only come to say goodbye. He didn't want to cause any more trouble. Chao Jifei stopped him from leaving. She said faintly, "More and more people have proposed marriage to me these past few years. There was the radiant cult's child of light, the dragon sex master of heaven, and the carefree sex master of unfettered. I rejected them all. I told them that I would reconsider when they could defeat you. You won't blame me for saying that, right?" Could Yang Wu blame her? She had already said it. How could he take it back now? We're good friends. I wouldn't hesitate to sacrifice myself for you. How could I blame you? Yang Wu said righteously. He paused for a moment, then continued. But do you plan on wasting your time like this and not getting married for the rest of your life? Chao Jifei stared at Yang Wu with her amber eyes. Which woman wouldn't want to marry? If I want to marry, I'll only marry the one I like. Yang Wu didn't dare to look her in the eye. I'm going to see Miao Miao. Why hasn't he come to see me yet? Yang Wu said before quickly leaving. Chao Jifei looked at the disheveled Yang Wu and muttered, The person I want to marry is you. Apart from you, who else is worthy of me? Chao Jifei? At this moment, her bearing as an empress was unquestionable. There were countless women in the world, but how many of them were worthy of her? Yang Wu didn't see Miao Miao. Miao Miao had spread his business far and wide. He didn't have time to stay in the Alliance or the Marquis gang. He liked to do things himself. Not only did he help the Marquis gang set up a trading company, but he also opened up a wider path for the Apothecary Alliance. Perhaps he was the same as Yang Manfan. They were both talented in the way of business. Yang Wu returned to the Yang clan. This time, he summoned the Thunder Tribulation Cloud and returned with the Silver Pattern Turtle. In the past 10 years, his strength hadn't increased, but the Silver Pattern Turtle had indeed ascended. He had eaten a lot of Yang Wu's resources and gone through many dangerous places to reach the peak of the Demon Saint realm. It could accompany him to participate in the Martial Sage Conference. It wasn't shameful. Those with poor eyesight would think that he was a real black tortoise. In fact, he was still quite a distance away. The main reason was that the innate bloodline wasn't so easy to change. In the end, Yang Wu asked him to find Yang Zhenlong and use the demon race's method to challenge the Thousand Saint Conference. Yang Wu returned to the Yang clan quietly. Seeing the thriving Yang clan, he was extremely gratified. After he revealed himself slightly, a voice rang out, Wu is back. There was a divine array around the Yang clan. When Yang Wu approached, he was discovered by Gong Silan. Yang Wu returned to the clan. When he saw Gong Silan, he smiled and said, Greetings, great-grandmother. Child, you really don't worry about the clan's matters. You left for 10 years. Gong Silan looked at Yang Wu and said happily, With great-grandmother overseeing things, there won't be any mistakes. Yang Wu said respectfully, In the past 10 years, Gong Silan's strength had always been at the 4th level of the Jade Moon realm. If she didn't encounter many opportunities in the next 100 years, she would still be at this level. After reaching the Jade Moon realm, it wasn't easy to increase one's strength. She didn't want to go out to train and only wanted to oversee the clan. It wasn't easy to quickly increase one's strength. It's easy for you to say. In the past 10 years, there were many people who spied on our Yang clan. There were even evil people from the King of Hell's palace who came to cause trouble. Fortunately, you had foresight and created this divine array. Those sneaky fellows couldn't hide from the divine array and were easily killed. There were also people from the Xing clan who came in disguise and wanted to spread rumors in our Yang clan. They were all killed. Gong Silan said calmly. Yang Wu could imagine that these things weren't so simple. If there wasn't a Jade Moon realm expert overseeing things, the Yang clan would have been finished long ago. It's been hard on you, great-grandmother. You've done too many things for the clan. Yang Wu said sincerely. My ability is far inferior to yours. Gong Silan laughed and continued. That's right. The princess of the Xianyuan family came to find you before. Seeing that you weren't there, she left. However, she left behind a message. If you were to encounter her in the Martial Saint Assembly, she would be lenient toward you once. Is that so? Her tone isn't ordinary. Yang Wu knew who came and said with a faint smile. Now that the grudge between us and the Xianyuan clan is over, you can't have any relationship with her. I don't want the past to happen again. Don't worry, I know what to do. Chapter 1496. The selection of the Martial Saint Assembly began. Whether or not one could enter the top 10,000 would depend on whether one's strength passed or not. Before the Martial Saint Assembly began, many prodigies were doing their best to catch up, and those old saints were also doing their best to replenish their blood and chi, hoping to break through to the Jade Moon realm before entering the Thousand Saints Assembly and become the champion. After 10 years of accumulation, the Yang clan also had many saints, more than 200. This was the first time in several thousand years that the Yang clan had the most saints. This also had a lot to do with the many resources Yang Wu had left behind. Of these 200 saints, 80% would participate in the selection of the Martial Saint Assembly this time. Whether or not they could enter the top 10,000 was another matter, but there was nothing bad about participating in the selection. Among the direct descendants of the Yang clan who were favored to enter the top 10,000, aside from Yang Wu, Yang Ba was the most dazzling seed, followed by Yang Zhenhai, Yang Tianlin, Yang Yishuan, Yang Manmi, and other rising stars. The other old saints did not have the intention to compete with them. Those who were not direct descendants of the Yang clan were mainly people like Su Chu, White-haired Demonis, and Wan Lanxin. Before they set off for the selection, the Yang clan gathered all the sages together so that Yang Wu could pass on the doubt of them. Although Yang Wu's cultivation experience was shallow, his cultivation was far ahead of theirs. When he taught, no one dared to say that he was arrogant. Instead, none of the saints were absent. This was their harvest before participating in the Martial Saint Assembly. It would be a waste if they did not take it. Yang Wu had been away for 10 years, and his harvest was great. He wanted to talk about the cultivation of the mind, hoping that it would help them break through to the next realm. Yang Wu's Tao sounded ordinary, but it also contained the most simple principles, making it easy to understand. Many things were complicated because the saints thought too much. In fact, the true principles were so simple, and the mind was so easy to break through. Several saints broke through in the process of teaching, attracting strands of starlight, which also caused a big commotion. After a simple preaching, a mighty sacred voice sounded, "Thank you, Patriarch, for your preaching." Following which, another voice rang out, "The Yang clan sage is heading towards War God City." An ancient battleship appeared, and the saints boarded the battleship one after another. Some of the young talents were brought along as well. The battle between the saints could also broaden the horizons of the young people and encourage their ambitions. Yang Wu stood at the head of the warship, his sleeves fluttering in the wind. He gazed into the distance and said with lofty sentiments, "I will be the head of the martial saints, the head of all saints." At this moment, a terrifying holy chi burst out of his body. Countless starlights fell from the sky. He was like an unsheathed divine sword. No one could stop his sharpness. He had restrained himself for 10 years, nurturing his own martial arts, all for today. The Yang family sage and young man looked at Yang Wu's back with awe. The Battle Clan World's 10,000 saints were chosen on the battle stage in War God City. That was the place where the important matters of the 8 great battle clans were settled. Other than the people of the 8 great battle clans, the saints of other forces would also come. There would even be people from the outside world who would come to fight for the 10,000 spots. Ancient war chariots and battleships flew towards War God City. The ancient city once again became bustling with noise and excitement. Before the Yang family sages arrived, the selection had already begun. 8 huge battle stages appeared out of thin air. There were quasi-divine formations covering the battle stages. The saints' power couldn't break through them. It was enough for the saints to fight to the death on the battle stages. The 8 battle stages were left behind from ancient times. They were made of top-grade saint materials. There were saints fighting on the battle stages. Some battles were decided in a single move. Some battles were fought for 7 days and 7 nights without a winner being decided. According to the rules, the saint who won 10 battles in a row would automatically become one of the 10,000 saints. If no one challenged the saint within 5 days, he would automatically become one of the 10,000 saints. This was only the preliminary selection. There was no ranking. In the end, the 10,000 saints would enter the ancient battlefield with people from other realms. The 10,000 strongest saints would then represent the transcendent world's human race to participate in a myriad martial assembly. Sometimes, it would be difficult to determine the victor in a short period of time. This was also why the selection was given 2 years. Some saints could choose to win a battle and cultivate for a period of time before continuing to participate in the battle. Or, if they were injured, they could continue to recuperate. There was no fixed time. Even if a saint failed, they could still catch up within 2 years and participate in the martial sage assembly. The goal was to determine the strongest saint. Every realm wanted face. If a saint from a realm obtained the title of martial sage, it meant that the realm's martial style was the strongest. After the Yang family's group arrived, it attracted a lot of discussion. The Yang family's people are here. The person leading them is the Yang family's patriarch, Yang Wu. He's so handsome. Among the 8 great battle clans, the Yang family is the earliest. The other battle clans will probably come in the last half a year. Maybe the Yang family is afraid of bumping into the other clans, so they came early to determine the spots. What nonsense are you talking about? The Yang family is no longer the Yang family of the past. Whoever dares to look down on them will suffer a great loss. Especially divine alchemist Yang Wu. He deserves our respect. That's right. He's a peerless genius who can defeat Kunlun's sect master, Kun Mingzi. I'm afraid no one in the battle clan's realm is his match. Indeed, most of the battle clans did not come. As the masters of this realm, they would usually only appear in the finale to show their true abilities. Most of the people who came now were saints who wanted to seize the initiative. Yang Wu did not care about this. It was good for the Yang family to have one more person enter the martial sage assembly. As a member of the clan, he could not compete with the other clans because of a moment of anger. Yang Wu said to the saints behind him, "You guys go. You can make the arrangements as you see fit. Just don't lose face for the Yang family." After a pause, he added, "Compared to losing your life, losing face is nothing. As the clan head, I don't really mind." "Yes, clan head," everyone replied. Thus, these people split up and chose a suitable stage. They did not rashly enter the stage. They had to see the situation clearly before going up. Only Wan Lanxin was left by Yang Wu's side. The white-haired demoness wanted to stay, but after hesitating for a moment, she still left. "Let's watch first, then decide whether to go up or not," Yang Wu said gently to Wan Lanxin. Wan Lanxin had become a saint. However, he was very worried that something would happen to her if she went up. Yang Wu had given her a lot of cultivation resources. Otherwise, even if she had 1 or 2 million years, she would not be able to become a saint. He was worried that her battle experience would be insufficient. Wan Lanxin smiled and replied, "Don't worry. All these years, I have not fallen behind in my cultivation. I don't want to lose face for you, and I don't want to lose face for the Yang family." As long as she stayed in the Yang family, she would be the wife of the Yang family's clan head. Even if Ziyu came, she would not be able to replace her position. This was what she was proud of. This identity did not allow her to be the slightest bit negligent. She hoped that when Yang Wu walked to a higher place, she could still accompany him by his side and not fall behind by half a step. With the accumulation of many resources, her strength had also reached the 6th level of the Star Rune realm. This kind of speed of improvement was nothing in Yang Wu's eyes. His divine items and immortal liquid could help her reach the peak of the Saint realm at any time. However, he did not do so. He hoped that Wan Lanxin could improve a little slower so that she could accumulate a lot of strength. He had passed on the body tempering technique to her. Her physical body was already very strong, and her soul was also not to be underestimated. If they really fought within the same level, only those prodigies would be able to fight her. Wan Lanxin's improvement was not the thing that caught his attention the most. His father, Yang Zhenan's improvement was the most shocking. He had given his father the best resources, more than anyone else. His improvement was definitely not slow. However, he had reached the peak of the Saint realm in 1 step. This was unbelievable. He had carefully observed his father and did not find anything strange. He had also personally asked his father what was going on. In the end, he came to the conclusion that his father cultivated the Battle Blood Immortal art. The Battle Blood Immortal art was a true immortal art. Its level was not low, and it was a complete version. It was not like Yang Wu's Supreme 9 Mysteries art, which had yet to be improved. Once this immortal art was cultivated at full speed, the absorption of heaven and earth energy would be extremely shocking. His father could continuously break through in just 10 years. In addition, his father also had some opportunities that belonged to him. This also meant that Yang Zhenan would be the 2nd strongest person after Yang Wu. Apart from Yang Wu, no one else knew about this matter for the time being. He did not need to worry about his father. He only needed to worry about Wan Lanxin. He also did not need to worry about the white-haired demoness. This woman had cultivated bitterly for 10 years and had never stopped. Her speed of improvement made others tremble in fear. As for Yang Ba and Su Chu, he did not need to worry about them. A saint from the Yang clan went up to challenge. Everyone wanted to see if the Yang clan's saint had recovered his former glory. The one who could not help but step up was Yang Yishuan. His cultivation had reached the 4th level of the star pattern realm. Among the younger generation of the Yang clan, he was only second to Yang Ba and Yang Tianlin. When an expert took action, one would know whether or not they were good. Yang Yishuan's improvement in cultivation was not as good as those around Yang Wu, but it did not mean that his combat power was not good. On the contrary, he had received the Yang clan's true inheritance. His bloodline power had increased by a lot, and his combat power was very strong. Those who were not from the battle clan, and those who were at the same level, were rarely his match. Yang Yishuan smoothly took the first victory. He said proudly, "Who else dares to fight with me? Everyone says that the Yang clan has been doing well these years. Let the saints see if it is true." A middle-aged saint said faintly and flew into the stage. At least no one cared about this ordinary-looking saint. However, when he attacked, everyone was stunned. Yang Yishuan was blown up by his opponent's punch and died on the spot. The Yang clan's people are only SOSO. Chapter 1497. Yang Yishuan was dead. This was a big deal for the Yang family. Everyone in the Yang family knew about it immediately. Yang Wu frowned when he heard the news. He was heartbroken. The Yang family's sages gathered in the courtyard of the Yang family's residence. Yang Yishuan's young body was lying on the ground. That person is too cruel. He didn't give Yishuan a chance to fight and killed him with one punch. An elder of the Yang family said sadly. "Who is that bastard? Is he from the Xing family?" Someone asked in confusion. "I have a portrait of him here. I saw him kill Yishuan with my own eyes. I didn't dare to challenge him. He killed Yishuan and left after writing down his name. His name is Lu Yang," another elder said. Another saint said as he took out a portrait of the middle-aged man who had killed Yang Yishuan. "Lu Yang, where did this person come from?" someone asked in confusion. Everyone looked at each other. No one knew where this person came from. In the end, they guessed that he might be an alias. He might be from the Xing family or some other enemy family. "We must avenge Yishuan. Whoever sees this person attacking, inform me immediately," Yang Wu said solemnly. Then he added, "Yishuan was careless and underestimated his opponent. It doesn't matter if he was killed. All of you have to take this as a warning. If you don't have the strength, you can't fight in the ring." "Yes, clan leader," everyone replied in unison. Yang Wu also ordered people to investigate this person's background. He also offered a reward. Anyone who could provide information about this person would be rewarded with a tribulation divine elixir. Lu Yang's background was mysterious. Not many people knew about his existence. After killing Yang Yishuan, he didn't continue to fight in the ring. Instead, he announced that he would kill all the sages in the Yang family except for the clan leader. This news spread through the battlefield. It was a slap to the Yang family's face. The other war clans also came to War God City. They weren't in a hurry to send people to challenge Lu Yang. They would wait until the next half a year. When they heard that the Yang family had been slapped in the face, the sages of the Xing family, Lu family, and Li family were extremely happy. Although Yang Wu was powerful now, his foundation was still far from being comparable to the other clans. The main reason was that the geniuses of the Yang clan had been killed one after another over the years. They had really missed out on many good seedlings. Otherwise, they would not only have 200 sages. If it wasn't for Yang Wu, there wouldn't even be 200 sages. As more and more people from the 8 great battle clans arrived, War God City became more and more lively. Some of the saints who hadn't come out of seclusion hurriedly made their moves. They wanted to win 10 battles in a row to ensure that they could enter the martial saint assembly. Sure enough, a few old saints had already obtained the qualifications. They were all old and experienced. They walked around the 8 arenas, specifically looking for those saints who were weaker than them to fight. After all, the martial saint assembly didn't pay attention to battles between people of different levels. It only paid attention to who was stronger in the Starmark realm. Some saints were defeated one after another, but they were not willing to leave just like that. They recuperated and cultivated bitterly, waiting for an opportunity to fight again. In any case, no matter how many times they lost, as long as they won 10 battles and squeezed into the top 10,000, they would be able to participate in the Martial Saint Assembly. There were also some sages who had encountered vicious and merciless people and ended up dead. No one could be blamed for that. After all, the Battle of the Holy War didn't allow anyone to show mercy easily. The Yang family also sent out Yang Ba in an attempt to lure that guy called Lu Yang to fight. As for how strong Yang Ba was, only Su Chu, who had accompanied him for some tempering, knew. How could a guy with the title of Overlord be easy to deal with? Yang Ba's appearance instantly attracted the gazes of many girls. Many exclamations sounded. The name of the Overlord had been resounding throughout the past 10 years. He had a resolute and rough appearance, and his profound chi was extremely domineering. He was currently the youth with the strongest bloodline power in the Yang family, besides Yang Wu. Many girls liked resolute and strong men like him. After defeating an opponent in one move, Yang Ba shouted loudly, "Where is Lu Yang? Come up and die." He only had one goal in the arena, and that was to kill Lu Yang and avenge Yang Yishuan. Lu Yang had to be Yang Ba's opponent. Yang Ba didn't call Lu Yang out. Instead, a saint from the Lu family took the lead. When did the people of the Yang family become so arrogant? This old man will teach you how to behave. The saint from the Lu family shouted and waved a pair of golden palms towards Yang Ba. This saint's strength wasn't weak. He had the strength of a level 9 Starmark realm cultivator. In addition to his many years of accumulation, he could fight a level 10 Starmark realm cultivator. He wouldn't die in front of a level 11 Starmark realm cultivator. "I don't kill nameless people," Yang Ba said faintly as he dodged his opponent's palm. "The person who will kill you is Lu Jichen." The saint from the Lu family replied and put on boxing gloves on his palms. The power of his fist was even denser and more domineering. With the help of the boundless starlight great path, a high-level saint's combat strength was quite shocking. A palm domain sealed Yang Ba, and a lot of murderous aura filled the air. The lethality was extremely domineering, and it wasn't something that ordinary people could fight against. Fancy fists and fancy legs. Yang Ba stared at these palm prints and shouted. His hand chopped into an axe and slashed towards these palm prints. Earth-splitting axe. Bang! The energy exploded, and the saint from the Lu family flew out. If he hadn't been wearing a saint robe on the arena, he would have been split in half by the axe. Yang Ba didn't take the opportunity to pursue and kill the saint from the Lu family. In the past few years, he had cultivated his body and mind. He was no longer a person who fought and killed. If he dared to say this, he didn't know how many people would roll their eyes at him. Yang Ba didn't chase after him not because he wanted to let him go. It was because the saint had surrendered the moment he flew out, not giving Yang Ba a chance to chase after him. Not far away, a man with a hood looked at the battlefield and muttered, "This Yang Ba is worthy of being Yang Wu's right-hand man. His strength is not much weaker than mine. If he goes all out, I might also be in trouble. I'll leave it until the last moment to take his head." On this day, Yang Ba won 3 rounds in a row, but Lu Yang didn't appear. The people from the Yang family knew that Lu Yang was a coward. They said some unpleasant words, but Lu Yang still didn't appear. Thus, Yang Ba won 10 rounds in a row and became the first person from the Yang family to participate in the Martial Sage Assembly. After Yang Ba was qualified, he couldn't enter the arena again. This was the rule. The people from the Yang family didn't cower anymore. They sent people to fight one after another and won. They stopped when they were ahead and didn't fight. After winning, they immediately got off the arena and didn't give Lu Yang a chance. Not long after, Wan Lanxin also went on the arena. She was one of Yang Wu's wives. Others had already investigated her thoroughly. The opponent she was looking for was also a woman. She didn't dare to pick someone too strong. She would only fight if the opponent's realm was similar to hers. "Husband, watch carefully. I won't embarrass you," Wan Lanxin thought to herself. Wan Lanxin went on the arena. After announcing her name, she started to fight with her opponent. Yang Wu was also present. There were many saints from the Yang family around him. They all wanted to see how strong this madam of the Yang family had become. I don't care if you're the madam of the Yang family. You'll lose to me today. Wan Lanxin's opponent was very wild. She shouted loudly and waved her hammers at Wan Lanxin. Her strength was very domineering. When her hammers came down, it was like a mountain smashing down. Wan Lanxin shook the long spear in her hand. Her battle chi overflowed. She didn't say much and directly stabbed her spear at her opponent. I've only practiced 3 spear moves in 10 years. If you can take it, you win. Gentle as water. The surging river seemed to be very turbulent, but in fact, it contained an indescribable gentleness. It was like a woman who was worried about her lover and couldn't bear to part with him. This stab contained the Tao of the spear, the Tao of the emotional spear. This was the result of Wan Lanxin's 10 years of spear practice. From the mortal world to the transcendent world, she had been working hard to catch up with Yang Wu's footsteps. Since a long time ago, she had a soft spot for him. She was already very satisfied to be the woman in his life. Therefore, she couldn't embarrass Yang Wu. She also didn't want to get further and further away from him. As her longing deepened, her spear techniques became faster and faster. Her spear techniques contain the Tao of emotions. Her spear techniques contain emotions. Emotions could move people and also hurt people. Her opponent seemed to have fallen into the waves. The heavy hammer was knocked aside by the waves. Her body was hit by the waves. There were a few more spear marks on her sacred armor. Deep emotions. The seas dried up and the rocks crumbled. Wan Lanxin made 2 more attacks, and the arena turned into a vast ocean. Wave after wave of attacks drowned her opponent. Yang Wu looked at Wan Lanxin's 3 moves. Every move contained emotions. It made him feel very guilty. All this time, he didn't hide his love for Zuu. However, he neglected the feelings of the women around him. Even if they were willing to stay by his side, how could they want their man to have another woman in his heart every day? I'm really a blockhead. Yang Wu slapped himself. This gave the people around him a fright. What was the patriarch doing? From this day onwards, Yang Wu no longer revealed his longing for Zuu. He only buried this longing deep in his heart. He had to treat the women around him better. Since he had already accepted her, he couldn't favor one and discriminate against the other, right? Wan Lanxin got off to a good start. The Yang family's saints cheered. Just as Wan Lanxin was about to leave the arena, someone shouted, "Madam Yang, you're so capable. Do you have the guts to spar with me?" A person slowly walked over from the crowd. It was Xing Sherman of the Xing family. She was also white-haired demoness archenemy. Xing Sherman didn't come alone. Behind her were more than 10 Xing family saints. She was dressed sexily and had a moving appearance. Every glance and movement of hers tugged at the hearts of men around her. Without waiting for Wan Lanxin to speak, white-haired demoness said impatiently, "Xing Sherman, let's fight to the death." Then, she jumped onto the arena and said to Wan Lanxin, "Little sister Lanxin, let me have the arena." Yin Qi would only lower herself in front of Yang Wu and be willing to be a servant. In front of others, she would never lower herself. Even when facing Wan Lanxin, she treated her as an equal. Chapter 1498. The enmity between white-haired demoness and Xing Sherman wasn't small. She wasn't a member of the battle race, but she was thrown into the city of sin for dozens of years. Not only did it delay her cultivation, but it also caused her to become neither human nor ghost. She and Xing Sherman were irreconcilable enemies. After cultivating in seclusion for dozens of years and receiving Yang Wu's help, her strength improved by leaps and bounds. She could finally challenge Xing Sherman again. Before the start of the Martial Saint Conference, many major factions had opened up all kinds of forbidden cultivation grounds to help their saints increase their strength. Xing Sherman had already reached the 6th level of the Star Pattern Realm and was not any weaker than Wan Lanxin. The white-haired she-devil was even stronger than her and had reached the 7th level of the Star Pattern Realm. How could the items owned by the large factions compare to Yang Wu's immortal liquid? A drop of immortal liquid could help a saint break through continuously. Moreover, it was an improvement that wouldn't shake their foundation. Wan Lanxin gave the stage to white-haired Demoness. She didn't need to compete with Xing Sherman. You've been cooped up by Yang Wu's side all these years as a maid. It seems you've gained a lot. Otherwise, you wouldn't be so arrogant. Xing Sherman stared at white-haired Demoness and mocked. Cut the crap. Do you dare to fight me to the death? White-haired Demoness shouted. I don't need to do anything to deal with you. Someone will come and settle the score with you. Xing Sherman sneered. She waved her hand behind her and said, Brother Biming, your family's traitor has appeared. What are you waiting for? White-haired Demoness trembled slightly. The light in her white hair revealed disbelief and a trace of panic. A tall and handsome man walked out from behind Xing Sherman. He had a pair of blue eyes and wore azure battle armor. He carried a mace on his back and had a strong aura. His name was Biming Hong. Junior sister, it's really you. Biming Hong stared at the woman in the stage. His tiger-like eyes were also filled with disbelief. White-haired Demoness took a deep breath and replied, Senior brother, it's me. I'll explain to you later. Today I want to fight Xing Sherman to the death. Xing Sherman didn't come up, but Biming Hong had already jumped up and shouted, You haven't returned to the island for so many years. You're just a maid here. You made my heart ache. The man's face became ferocious. He released all his saint chi. He was an expert at the 8th level of the Star Rune realm. Senior brother, go down. Don't fall into that woman's trap. White-haired Demoness shouted. Come back to the island with me, Biming Hong said. He quickly walked towards the white-haired Demoness to grab her. White-haired Demoness' strength was not inferior to his. She quietly dodged and said, Senior martial brother, if you continue to pester endlessly like this, don't blame me for being impolite. Biming Hong did not say anything. He released a huge wave from his body and enveloped white-haired Demoness. Huge waves surged. Biming Hong's strength was so strong that even a 9th-level Star Rune Realm expert couldn't compare. Palm prints covered white-haired Demoness, not giving her a chance to escape. He had to catch her. White-haired Demoness had no choice but to attack continuously to counter the power of the giant waves. Bang! Bang! Palm prints shining with silver light slapped the giant waves, stirring up countless waves. Sister Yunqi is in trouble, Wan Lanxin said, leaning against Yang Wu. Yes, but she should be able to handle it. Yang Wu replied in a low voice. Then he glanced at Xing Sherman and murmured, This woman is very scheming. Everyone in the Xing family is scheming, Wan Lanxin agreed. It was unknown if Xing Sherman had noticed Yang Wu's gaze, but she glanced in his direction. A cold smile appeared on her face as she thought to herself, It's a pity that he's a member of the Yang family. What a waste of such a good appearance. Biming Hong was 1 level higher than white-haired Demoness. It seemed that he was stronger than her. His attacks were big and wide. Blue, profound, chi-formed waves that were higher than the previous one. It was as if he was the king of the sea and could control everything. The people below the ring were all amazed by what they saw. It seemed that such a godly technique was rare. Some knowledgeable people suddenly exclaimed, This is the Northern Devil Island's Dark North Devil technique. The Northern Devil Island was one of the 4 Devil Islands outside of the Transcendent Realm. They were the Eastern Illumination Island, the Southern Seal Island, the Western Paradise Island, and the Northern Devil Island. The people of the 4 Devil Islands were far away from the Transcendent Realm. If one wanted to reach them, they would have to cross the boundless ocean. And if they wanted to reach the Transcendent Realm, they would have to cross the boundless ocean as well. Even if they were all above the Transcendent Realm, they were definitely from 2 different worlds. The 4 Devil Islands had almost no contact with the Transcendent Realm. Occasionally, only adventurers or trainers would go to the 4 Devil Islands to enjoy the scenery. Sometimes, people from the 4 Devil Islands would want to visit the Transcendent Realm. Could they really be from the Northern Devil Island? It takes them a long time to reach our Transcendent Realm. That's right. Even if a sage flew over, it would take years. Moreover, there are countless sea monsters in the ocean. Who would dare to take the risk? Our Transcendent Realm's old monster Tontian once said that if one wanted to go to the 4 Devil Islands, they would have to gamble their lives. How did he come to our transcendent realm? Why are you talking about this? Let's see what kind of methods they have. I heard that the people of the 4 Devil Islands look down on the people of the continent. The 4 Devil Islands and the Central Continent were like people who were separated by heaven and earth. Both sides had their own enmity. Now that the people of the Northern Devil Island were fighting on the stage, the crowd was getting more and more excited. Yang Wu didn't ask white-haired demoness about her origins, and she also didn't take the initiative to tell him. Only today did he know that she was from the Northern Devil Island. He didn't find it strange at all. From a moment she chose to be loyal to him, he didn't care about her origins. If anyone dared to bully her, as a young master, he wouldn't let them have an easy time. Yang Wu had never treated white-haired demoness as a maidservant. He had always treated her as a trusted aide by his side. She was the most trustworthy person. He had also taught white-haired demoness a lot of methods. White-haired demoness cultivated the power of light. After he returned from the divine firmament battle god, he gave her some divine light stones, aurora sand, and other items of light. He forged a top-grade holy radiant sword for her to help her shine in the martial sage assembly. In addition, he also forged an aurora mirror for her. Once the mirror appeared, it could pierce the eyes of others, giving her an opportunity to attack. When white-haired demoness fought with Bai Ming Hong, it was obvious that she didn't want to injure him. Hence, she was very restrained. On the other hand, Bai Ming Hong didn't know the severity of his attacks. Seeing that he couldn't take down white-haired demoness after a long time, Bai Ming Hong pushed his devil arts to the extreme. He took out his battle weapon and prepared to use his ultimate skill to defeat white-haired demoness. But before he could finish, a strong beam of light suddenly shone on him. In an instant, he couldn't open his eyes and felt incomparably sore. Aurora mirrors light. White-haired demoness had been in a disadvantageous position all along. Suddenly, she used such a trump card, catching Bai Ming Hong off guard. At the instant when Bai Ming Hong couldn't open his eyes, white-haired demoness transformed into a beam of light and attacked Bai Ming Hong. Bai Ming Hong wasn't stupid. He retracted his energy and turned it into a bubble, completely enveloping himself. Bang! White-haired demoness palm power slapped over, and a dull sound rang out. Bai Ming Hong recognized the person by listening to the sound. He gathered all his energy into the defense of white-haired demoness attack, forming a water shield to block white-haired demoness attack. Unexpectedly, this was just a feint of white-haired demoness. She had already appeared in another direction. The power of her palms was like a flash flood, fiercely slapping Bai Ming Hong's body. Puff! Bai Ming Hong's weak defense was broken. 2 palm prints appeared on his body, and he was sent flying while vomiting blood. After white-haired demoness succeeded, she chased after him. A palm print enveloped his body, heavily injuring him on the spot, not giving him any chance to fight back. Senior brother, you lost. White-haired demoness grabbed the heavily injured Bai Ming Hong and said faintly. Bai Ming Hong said with an unwilling expression, "How can you be so powerful?" Many years ago, he was the one who brought this junior sister into the sect to learn martial arts. The gap between the two of them was not ordinary. Although he knew that his junior sister was very talented, he wasn't bad either. Now, he was still defeated by her. He was unwilling to accept it. White-haired demoness didn't answer his question. She carried him down the stage and tied him up. Then, she said to Yang Wu, "Young master, I've troubled you. It's fine as long as you take care of it," Yang Wu replied. White-haired demoness handed him over to someone else to watch over and challenged Xing Sherman again. "Useless guy," Xing Sherman cursed inwardly. Then, she replied to white-haired demoness in a strange tone and chose to avoid the battle. White-haired demoness' strength had obviously increased by a lot. Even if she had a trump card, she didn't want to fight to the death with her. She knew too well that her opponent wanted her life. Yang Wu led the people around him back to his residence. The selection would last for 2 years. No one would be in a hurry. Not long after he returned to his courtyard, he heard a servant report that Xian Yuan Ho Wu had come to visit. Yang Wu personally went out to welcome her. After not seeing her for 10 years, Xin Yuan Huowu was still wearing a red dress. She was so beautiful that one couldn't look straight at her. Her devilish figure didn't grow or shrink in the slightest, and it was filled with endless temptation. "Little Wu, thanks," Xin Yuan Huowu said naturally and gracefully after seeing Yang Wu. Yang Wu led her in and said, "When did you become so polite? If I don't, others will think that I don't have manners," Xin Yuan Huowu said with a trace of hidden bitterness. She paused for a moment, then sighed with emotion. "The first time we met was in this city, right?" "That's right. Back then, you were so impressive. There were many elites crowding around you, both inside and outside. Now that you're in the limelight, are you looking down on my conduct?" "How could that be?" "Because I know that you're not feeling well either. Those people aren't worthy of you." Haha, these words are very pleasant to hear. "You came here today just to say these words? What? You don't like me coming to find you? Or are you trying to avoid suspicion? Are you afraid that Sister Lon Xin will see you flirting?" Hey, you can't say that. What did I flirt? Just treat it as me seducing you." Chapter 1499. Of course, Xin Yuan Huowu didn't come here to seduce Yang Wu. Even if she had such thoughts, she was still a very reserved woman. She only came to talk to Yang Wu about the 4 outer islands. The people of the 4 outer islands were known as Outer Island Barbarians by the people of the continent. Many people had opinions about them, no less than the demon race. Now, it was said that Yang Wu had outsiders around him, which would definitely arouse the hatred of many people. This was the sinister heart of the Xing clan. Do they dare to come and ask for them? Yang Wu asked with a faint smile. "They will ruin your Yang clan's reputation," Xin Yuan Huowu replied with certainty. "Our Yang clan's reputation has been ruined long ago." Yang Wu replied again. After a pause, he shouted outside, "Announce to War God City that our Yang clan is selling divine pills, and we will also accept divine pills. You can have as many as you want." Someone outside the room replied, "Yes, Patriarch." Xin Yuan Huowu was stunned for a moment. Then, she threw a coquettish glance at Yang Wu and said, "You're really scary. Anyone who goes against you won't have a good ending." "You're flattering me. Actually, even if I don't do it, someone else will. It's just that my name is a little more famous than theirs," Yang Wu replied with a smile. "All right, since you already have a solution, it's time for me to leave as well," Xin Yuan Huowu said and stood up. Then, she seemed to have thought of something and said, "We're going to hold a Tao discussion banquet. Do you want to participate? Do you think it's interesting for me to participate?" "It's quite interesting." "All right, I'll go." White Hair, She-Devil released Bai Ming Hong. Bai Ming Hong didn't use violence against White Hair, She-Devil anymore. "Junior sister, what exactly happened after you came here? Why did you become like this?" Bai Ming Hong looked at White Hair, She-Devil and said with heartache, "It's my first time on the continent. I'm not familiar with everything here. First, I met Xing Sherman, then another person." White Hair, She-Devil faintly recounted the past. Bai Ming Hong listened seriously. "Impossible. How could she be that kind of woman?" Bai Ming Hong said in a daze. The reason he lost his composure was because he had fallen in love with Xing Sherman. She was beautiful and humorous. She was his type. Otherwise, he wouldn't have stayed by her side and done so many things for her. This time, if it weren't for the fact that the white-haired demoness was stronger than him, perhaps the white-haired demoness would have been captured and handed over to Xing Sherman. You can judge for yourself whether or not it's true. I'm only telling you this because you're my senior brother. White-haired demoness replied coldly. Then she said, I've let down my sect. I might not go back in this lifetime. Just treat it as if I died outside. Once, she was very curious as to what the continent was like. She was also curious as to whether the cultivators there were strong or not. Once, by chance, she came here from the northern Devil Island and started to roam the world. She wanted to understand everything about the continent so that she could brag about it when she returned to the northern Devil Island in the future. Unfortunately, everything that happened later was beyond her expectations. After Yang Wu saved her several times, she decided not to return to the northern Devil Island. There weren't many men in her life who were willing to sacrifice their lives for her. Even if she had to follow behind him for the rest of her life, she was still willing. Junior sister, regardless of whether I believe it or not, I'm just a scout. Eldest senior brother and the others will definitely participate in the Martial Saint Assembly. With your strength, you will definitely enter the Martial Saint Assembly. You will meet them unless you don't want to participate in the Martial Saint Assembly. Bai Minghong said. He paused for a moment before continuing. No, the Xing clan has already contacted our northern Devil Island. There will be cooperation between both sides. There might be other senior and junior brothers coming over. They all want to know what happened to you, and whether you were bullied by the people on the continent. If they know that you followed someone else, you'd better behave yourself. The white-haired demoness thought of the rules of their island, and her expression turned ugly. What she did was no different from going against the rules of the island. She would either go back and be punished or be executed. In addition, the Yang clan would also be implicated because of her. For a moment, her heart was in a mess. At this moment, Yang Wu's voice resounded from outside the room. Can I come in? The white-haired demoness hurriedly opened the door. Young master. Did I interrupt your discussion? Yang Wu asked. No, young master, come in. The white-haired demoness replied and invited Yang Wu in. Bai Minghong looked at Yang Wu with an unfriendly expression. Clearly, he had heard too many bad things about Yang Wu from Xing Man. It was Yang Wu who abducted his junior sister and controlled her. Otherwise, how could such a proud person like his junior sister be willing to stay on the continent? Bai Minghong really wanted to take down Yang Wu and threaten him to let go of his junior sister. However, he didn't do so in the end. Since his junior sister dared to give him back his freedom, she naturally wasn't worried that he would hurt her. I don't care where you're from. If you want to keep your life, stay here from today onwards. Don't go out. Otherwise, you won't even know how you died, Yang Wu said sternly to Bai Minghong. Who are you? I can go wherever I want. Why do you care? Bai Minghong replied, unhappily. I don't care, but you can't implicate Yin Qi, Yang Wu said in a low voice. Do you think you have a right to order me around just because I lost my junior sister? Bai Minghong stared at Yang Wu and said unhappily. He had the urge to beat up Yang Wu whenever he looked at him. If it wasn't for this young man, his junior sister wouldn't have stayed. Just as he finished speaking, Yang Wu's figure flashed and appeared beside Bai Minghong. He grabbed his neck and lifted him up. Bai Minghong couldn't react at all. His life was in Yang Wu's hands. He was overwhelmed with shock. When he came to the mainland, he also fought with many experts. Their strength wasn't that great. They were even weaker than the people on their island. He also looked down on the people here from the bottom of his heart. Now, he realized that he was still too inexperienced. Yang Wu directly threw Bai Minghong out of the courtyard and shouted, "Get lost!" White Hair, She-Devil hurriedly said, "Young master, no need to speak for him. If he wants to die, no one can stop him," Yang Wu said coldly. Senior brother, White Hair She-Devil looked at Bai Minghong with a pleading look, hoping that he would give in to Yang Wu. Humph, you'll regret it. Bai Minghong snorted and rushed out of the courtyard, ignoring White Hair She-Devil's call. Young master, you shouldn't have let senior brother go, White Hair She-Devil said softly. Don't worry, he'll come back, Yang Wu said with a faint smile. As expected, after Bai Minghong left the courtyard of the Yang clan, there were sounds of fighting. He's the saint of the Northern Devil Island. Take him down and interrogate him about the Northern Devil Island. This person's strength isn't bad. We can't let him escape. Leaving the Yang clan is a path to death. Some people were very interested in the Northern Devil Island. They all said that the 4 Devil Islands were carefree gold caves and were extremely rich. They also wanted to go to the Northern Devil Island to dig for gold one day. Before digging for gold, they had to understand the situation on the Northern Devil Island. Bai Minghong was the best person to understand. An earth-shattering energy enveloped over. The energy in the air churned unceasingly, and the killing power was extremely strong. Bai Minghong wanted to break out, but he couldn't. There were many experts who were on the same level as him. He finally understood the meaning of a young man's words. If he left this place, only death would await him. He persisted for a while and still returned to the Yang clan. He was still young and didn't want to die. After he returned to the Yang clan, those saints didn't dare to make a move. However, they still shouted some outrageous words, which were very infuriating. Yang clan, You dare to collude with the Northern Devil Island. Are you trying to make the people of the continent your enemy? Hurry up and capture him. Then we'll forget about this matter. Colluding with the demons of the realm is a serious crime. You can't afford it. Hurry up and hand him over. These people put a lot of blame on the Yang family, forcing the Yang family to hand over the person. Not far away, Xing Sherman and the other saints of the Xing clan were watching the show. Let's see how the Yang clan will settle this. Xing Sherman smiled faintly and murmured, "What if they protect Bai Ming Hong?" Someone behind her asked. "Then they will be in an even worse state." Hee. Xing Sherman laughed beautifully. These people were very arrogant, as if they were going to attack the Yang clan. The battle race realm was the territory of the 8 great battle races. However, there were many saints who weren't from the battle races. They lived in this place, but it didn't mean that they had to be under the jurisdiction of the 8 great battle races. There are also many rogue cultivators. The 8 great battle races were only the rulers of these territories. Suddenly, a loud voice rang out. "It's not up to you to meddle in the affairs of the Yang family." After this voice rang out, a palm that blotted out the sky flew out from the Yang family's courtyard and slapped towards those sages furiously. Bang! This huge palm came too quickly. Those saints couldn't dodge at all and were sent flying away while vomiting blood. The current Yang family was not something that any Tom, Dick, or Harry could bully. Some of the weaker saints were slapped to death. The rest were injured and ran away with their tails between their legs. None of them dared to be arrogant anymore. They would say some nasty things behind their backs, but they wouldn't dare to say it in front of others. They were all people who bullied the weak and feared the strong. Bai Ming Hong was still in shock. He patted his chest and murmured, "These barbarians are too despicable." Yang Wu and white-haired Demonis appeared in front of Bai Ming Hong again. Yang Wu said, "Do you still want to go out now?" Bai Ming Hong's expression kept changing. He didn't know how to answer. "For Yin Chi's sake, I'll let you stay for a few days. I'll think of a way to let you leave later. Senior brother, hurry up and thank the young master." I'll definitely think of a way to leave." Chapter 1500. The news of the North Devil Island people appearing in the battle race, and now in the Yang family, spread out. Many sages clamored for the other races to force the Yang family to hand them over. They said that the Yang family was harboring extraterrestrial devils. Tens of thousands of years ago, the 4 islands wanted to invade the mainland, but they were forced back by the mainland experts. Not only that, but the same thing had happened 100,000 years ago. That time, the continent had almost completely fallen. After many conflicts, the mainlanders and the 4 islands were at loggerheads with each other. Both sides felt that the other side was a barbarian and an evil cultivator. Actually, these were all old matters. So what if they were sages from the outer region islands? Many people didn't care. After all, the transcendent world could accommodate all kinds of races. So why couldn't it accommodate people from the outer region islands? As long as they didn't go overboard, it would be fine. Some people were just trying to defame the Yang family for their own selfish desires. The 4 islands had attacked the mainland before, but how could the mainlanders not attack the 4 islands? Everyone was just about the same. Yang Wu didn't care about this, but it didn't mean that the other members of the Yang family didn't care. They all suggested for Yang Wu to chase Bai Ming Hong out. They mustn't let the Yang family get into trouble for 1 or 2 outsiders. Yang Wu wasn't a noble person. He didn't let Bai Ming Hong stay for his life, but because of the white-haired Demonis. He didn't expect the matter to blow up so big, so he immediately thought of a way to solve it. The Yang clan released news that these 2 from the Northern Devil Island were acquainted with the Xing clan in order to frame the Yang clan. Now that they were captured by the Yang clan, they were being controlled as living puppets. No one was allowed to splash dirty water on the Yang clan, or they would be killed without a doubt. The people of the Yang family had also announced what had happened to the white-haired Demonis. Moreover, many people knew the whole story. It was indeed Xing Sherman who had caused it. The Yang family made such a response, and many people were speechless. Many devils were controlled as living puppets by the humans, and no one dared to say anything, let alone the extraterrestrials. As for the Xing family, no one dared to question them. Apart from this, the Yang family sacred elixir pills was also a great blessing. Many sages needed sacred elixir pills at this critical time. Who wouldn't suffer a knife on the stage? How could they survive without a saint pill? Yang Wu's move was the right medicine for the problem. Many sages started to speak well of the Yang clan and criticize the Xing clan. This storm was quietly resolved by Yang Wu. However, this matter would not end here. It would be very difficult for the white-haired demoness to participate in a martial saint assembly again, as she would be targeted by the other saints. None of this mattered to Yang Wu. After a while, things would calm down, and not many people would pay attention to this matter. However, it was impolite not to reciprocate. Since the Xing clan had set up this trap, he naturally had to return the favor. He directly issued a challenge in the name of the Yang clan. Who from a Xing clan would dare to fight him to the death? For a moment, everyone in the Xing family was silent. How powerful was Yang Wu? Who in the Xing clan could fight him to the death? In the Xing clan's courtyard, Xing Sherman was being scolded badly by an old saint of the Xing clan. You pighead, do you really think the Yang clan is still the same as before? You want to defeat them with such a small trick? Are you naive, or are they naive? Now that they have slapped you in the face, do you feel good? The Xing clan's saint scolded Xing Sherman. More than 10 years ago, their Xing clan had suffered a great loss in front of the Yang clan. Since then, they had never been able to raise their heads in the war clan. These days, they had been suppressing their anger. They had to get more people to participate in a martial saint assembly to redeem their clan's reputation. Now that the selection had just begun, Yang Wu did not play by the rules and directly challenged someone from the Xing clan. This was too much. As the leader of a clan, did he still have any shame? If these words were to reach Yang Wu's ears, Yang Wu would naturally reply, "It's true that I am the clan leader, but I'm still a young man who is not even 50 years old. How am I shameless?" Xing Sherman was not scolded silly. After the other party stopped scolding, she smiled faintly and said, "Seventh uncle, don't be angry. I still have a backup plan." "What backup plan? Don't tell me you used the soul anchoring art to make that kid from the outer realm listen to your orders and give Yang Wu a fatal blow at any time." That person replied. Xing Sherman's smile froze. "Seventh uncle can guess it? I can't guess it. No one in the world can guess it. You are the smartest. Hurry up and scram. Go settle the disturbance outside. I don't want to hear that our Xing clan is colluding with the outer realm. Once the northern Devil Island finds out, they will no longer cooperate with us." "Yes, I will go settle it now. Remember, keep your little tricks. Even the people from Kunlun didn't kill him. You want to kill him with your little tricks? You are really a pighead." In the Yang clan's courtyard, Bai Ming Hong was knocked unconscious. White-haired demoness looked at Yang Wu, who knocked Bai Ming Hong out, and was speechless for a moment. "Go out and guard him," Yang Wu said to white-haired demoness. White-haired demoness said worriedly, "Clan head, you can't be thinking of controlling my senior brother, right? Forget it. You can stay here. It's not a big deal anyway. I just want to see if your senior brother is being controlled," Yang Wu said, and sent his divine soul into Bai Ming Hong's divine court. When his soul entered Bai Ming Hong's divine court, he found that there were talismans locked in his soul, controlling him. Yang Wu didn't want to suffer again after suffering a huge loss at the peak of Kunlun Mountain. For safety's sake, he had no choice but to do this. Now, he wasn't surprised at all to find such a thing. How can I make the same mistake again? Yang Wu said to himself, and directly destroyed these talismans. Many talismans couldn't be moved. Once they were moved, they would explode. Not only would it hurt the soul of the person who was cursed, it would also hurt the soul of the person who dispelled the talisman. Yang Wu didn't have such concerns. These talismans were rough, and his soul power was incomparably strong. How difficult would it be to shatter them? Of course, Bai Ming Hong's soul would suffer a little. Bang bang. The talismans were shattered one after another. Bai Ming Hong's soul was shaken, causing him great pain. After Yang Wu dispelled these talismans, he retreated and said, "Feed him a saint's soul pill. It won't be a big problem." "Yes, young master," white-haired demoness replied. After she fed the saint's soul pill to Bai Ming Hong, she placed him to the side and looked at Yang Wu, waiting for his instructions. "He's being controlled. I'm afraid the matter of the North Devil Island has already been exposed. As for whether it's a big problem or not, you can consider it yourself. Also, are you sure you want to stay by my side? Yang Wu said faintly. White-haired Demonis directly knelt down and said, Young Master has saved my life time and time again. My life already belongs to Young Master. After pausing for a moment, she continued, If I will implicate Young Master, I'm willing to die immediately. But before I die, I will kill my senior brother. I will make things difficult for Young Master. Her words were incomparably straightforward, without any hesitation. Yang Wu praised white-haired Demonis and said, As long as you're willing to stay by my side, who would dare to say anything? These words weren't heavy, but who would dare to question it? Now, Yang Wu's position in the transcendent world was one of the most influential among the younger generation. Even the older generation didn't dare to say anything. The Martial Saint Assembly selection was still ongoing. Ho Clan and Sun Clan's people came one after another. Without waiting for them to come, Yang Wu took the initiative to bring people to visit the two clans. The two clans were allies of the Yang clan. Yang Wu should pay them a visit. At the same time, he was lowering his status by doing so. Other than being the Yang clan's patriarch, he was also a divine alchemist. Only Overlord-level characters could make him lower his status. Yang Wu didn't mind this. The Sun clan had once sent troops for the Yang clan. That was enough for him to pay them a visit personally. As for the Ho clan, although they were forced to ally with the Yang clan, the Ho clan's position in the battle race was still there. He didn't mind paying them a visit personally. He only hoped that there would be news of his son. Unfortunately, the Ho clan wasn't able to find his son's whereabouts. Unless Yang Wu was willing to part with his heart's blood and ask the divine alchemist to do a divination, perhaps he might be able to find some clues. Only Yang Wu knew that even if the divine alchemist did a divination, he wouldn't know where his son was. How could someone who was determined to be a devil fetus be easily found? After Yang Wu went through these red tape, he continued to let the other members of the Yang clan go up to the stage to challenge. The Yang clan's people had awakened quite a bit of their bloodline power, and their battle strength had increased a lot. However, it didn't mean that they could win every battle. There were also people who were knocked off the stage. That guy called Liu Yang would occasionally appear, but he would quickly disappear. He stared at the Yang clan's people. If the Yang clan's people didn't defend the stage, he couldn't go up to challenge them. On this day, it was rumored that Yang Wu's father, Yang Jinan, went up to defend the stage. When this news spread out, many people's thoughts were stirred. Who was Yang Jinan? Not many people paid attention to him. Other than those enemies who wanted nothing more than to kill Yang Wu immediately, no one else knew his name. Today, Yang Jinan became famous because of his son. After Yang Jinan came to the transcendent world with his son, he had always kept a low profile, even in the Yang clan. He had always gone out with the Yang clan's people to temper himself. Sometimes he would go out alone to temper himself, or bring his brother-in-law, Su Yin Shui, along. His actions improved by leaps and bounds, and not many people knew about it. He had always been hiding, afraid that if he improved too quickly, others would discover that he cultivated an immortal art. He had discussed this matter with his son. His son also wanted him to keep a low profile to avoid attracting the attention of his enemies. This time, Yang Jinan went up to the stage. It really wasn't the Yang clan who deliberately publicized it, but the Yang clan's mortal enemies. Yang Wu was so powerful, so his father couldn't be bad, right? When Yang Jinan went up, the others were disappointed. Only 2 star patterns appeared on Yang Jinan's back. How could he pass the selection of the Martial Sage Assembly with such strength? Perhaps he would die in the arena if he wasn't careful. Wasn't Yang Wu worried? Chapter 1501. Yang Jinan went up the stage not only to challenge other opponents, but also to defend. This was shocking news. A 2nd grade celestial rune realm defending the stage was simply courting death. After the news spread, many people ran over to watch. What kind of person was Yang Jinan to defend the stage with such strength? His guts were too big. Could it be that Yang Wu had arranged some shocking trump card for him? On the stage, Yang Jinan's face was resolute as if it had been carved by a knife. He was full of manliness. He raised his head and puffed out his chest. His gaze was steady, and he emitted an invisible aura. Others could only see two celestial runes flickering behind him. No one could see through his hidden strength. Even if a heaven-reaching powerhouse came here, they might not be able to discover it. He cultivated a secret technique to conceal his cultivation, so others could forget about easily discovering his true strength. Yang Zhenan's opponent was a loose cultivator whose strength had reached the 3rd grade celestial rune realm. After the opponent won a match with difficulty, he prepared to leave the stage. However, when he saw Yang Zhenan coming up, he stopped. This person was called He Changchong, a holy elder belonging to the Qin family subordinate force. "Do you want to challenge me?" He Changchong looked at Yang Zhenan and asked. Yang Zhenan nodded lightly and said, "Yes, please enlighten me. Does anyone dare to participate in the martial saint assembly? With your strength, it's better for you to get lost." He Changchong shouted as he raised his dual blades and slashed at Yang Zhenan. 2 crescent moon-like blade lights arrived in front of Yang Zhenan in the blink of an eye. Carrying astonishing power, they wanted to directly behead Yang Zhenan on the stage. Even if he was Yang Wu's father, so what? Blades and swords had no eyes on the stage. If he was killed, he couldn't blame anyone. Everyone stared at the scene, wanting to see how Yang Zhenan would be able to block He Zhangchang's attack. In the eyes of others, He Zhangchang's attack was very fast, but in Yang Zhenan's eyes, it was as slow as a turtle. He stood in place and moved his body slightly. He didn't seem to have done anything, but he heard a scream, and He Zhangchang's whole body was sent flying with blood gushing out. There was silence all around. They couldn't even see how Yang Zhenan attacked, and He Changchong was already defeated. It was too fast. Yang Zhenan said indifferently, "Next." For a moment, no one went up. A voice broke the silence. "This guy must be hiding his strength. Don't be fooled." It was unknown if these words were sincere or not, but it had the opposite effect. Someone leaped onto the stage and shouted, "I Zhang will kill you." This saint with the surname Zhang was a consecrator of the Xing family, but not many people knew about this. He usually hid his identity very well, and was a saint who had reached the 5th level of the Astromark realm. The Xing family and the Yang family were irreconcilable. The Xing family naturally wouldn't let go of the chance to kill someone from the Yang family. The saint with the surname Zhang came up just to test Yang Zhenan's true strength. The fish is starting to take the bait. Yang Zhenan looked at the person who rushed up and felt Fong Tengting's killing intent. He knew that the other party must be coming for him. The saint with the surname Zhang held a long spear and stabbed out. The black spear light turned into a huge python and tried to devour Yang Zhenan. The python was ferocious and quite scary. Yang Zhenan wasn't as calm as before. He pulled out the South Protector spear and fought with the other party. The 2nd level of the Astral Mark realm appeared on his back. These 2 astral marks were extremely condensed and thicker than ordinary astral marks. With a stab, a water dragon formed and collided with the python. Boom! 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 Explosions rang out continuously. 2 different types of Saint Chi sputtered in all directions. This was an arena left behind from ancient times. After entering the arena, the Xian Qi wouldn't spill out from the arena. The spectators could watch the battle without worry. Yang Zhenan and the saint with the surname Zhang fought intensely and excitedly. It caused waves of exclamations. Yang Zhenan is really something. He's only at the 2nd level of the Astral Mark realm and has such combat strength. As expected of Yang Wu's father, the ability to fight above one's level is common in the battle race, but I think he hasn't activated the power of his bloodline yet. The Zhang guy is quite capable. He hasn't used his full strength yet. When he does, Yang Zhenan will be dead for sure. Although Yang Zhenan's strength is good, it's a fool's dream if he wants to defend the arena. Everyone was shocked by Yang Zhenan's strength. At the same time, they felt that Yang Zhenan was arrogant. The strength of a 2nd level of the Astral Mark realm could fight above one's level. How many levels could he cross? Any high-level saint could kill him, right? A middle-aged man in the crowd smiled faintly. This kind of prey is just right. This middle-aged man was Lu Yang, who had put on a human face. He hid in the crowd, waiting for the opportunity to kill the Yang family. No one knew why he hated the Yang family so much. Only when he told them the truth would they be able to understand the grudge between them. With your strength, you dare to defend the arena? Go to hell. After continuously probing, the Zhang guy felt that he had figured out Yang Jinnan's strength. He no longer held back and used his ultimate move to kill Yang Jinnan. However, just as he was about to use his ultimate move, Yang Jinnan made a strange move. It was as if he had fallen to the ground or used some kind of secret technique. Suddenly, a force hit the Zhang saint's tiny flaw and stopped him from using his ultimate move. Yang Jinnan seized the critical opportunity and shouted, "You don't have the qualifications to kill me." The South Protector's spear cut through space and instantly pierced through the Zhang saint's heart. A bright flower of blood splattered out. The Zhang saint's eyes widened. Even in death, he couldn't believe that he had died just like that. Victory was clearly in his hands. Why didn't he die because of a little negligence? Was all of this really just a coincidence? In the eyes of others, they felt that Yang Jinnan had killed the Zhang saint by coincidence. Otherwise, how could he have won? The Zhang saint's strength had skyrocketed just now. He was prepared to suppress Yang Jinnan. This dog shit luck is too amazing. It wasn't a coincidence just now. It might be Yang Jinnan's strange move. It's amazing. After Yang Jinnan cleaned up, he threw a pill into his mouth and shouted while panting, "Next." At this moment, the Yang clan people cooperated and shouted, "Lord Jinnan, come down quickly. Don't guard the arena anymore. Jinnan, don't force yourself. If anything happens to you, we won't be able to explain it to the clan leader." The Yang clan shills were indeed good. They were so nervous that everyone felt that Yang Jinnan was really at his wit's end. Just as Lu Yang was about to rush up, another saint flew up one step ahead of him. "I'm Lu Ming. May I ask for your advice?" A dignified Lu clan saint landed on the arena and said faintly. Lu Ming was the same as the Zhang saint. He was also at the level 5-star rune realm. However, he was stronger and was almost at the level 6-star rune realm. "Please." When Yang Jinnan's voice fell, Lu Ming waved his 3-section long staff and attacked Yang Jinnan. The staff was like a great bell. The staff was like a golden sun. The Lu clan saint used all his strength right from the start, not giving Yang Jinnan any chance at all. He waved his staff, and the shining golden staff shadow formed a golden bell, which then transformed into a golden sun, crazily suppressing Yang Jinnan. Yang Jinnan's eyes twitched. A huge wave formed in front of him and turned into a wave wall to block the Lu clan saint's attack. Bang! Bang! Lu Ming's attack was like a hot knife through butter, directly shattering the wave wall. His staff landed on Yang Jinnan's body one after another, forcing Yang Jinnan's black tortoise armor to appear. Roar! The black tortoise had become a spirit. Only when the power of the bloodline reached a certain level could the spirit of the black tortoise be formed. Only then could it form an armor to resist Lu Ming's attack. Yang Wu had already taught Yang Jinnan the way of deflection. Yang Jinnan, through his own understanding, transformed it into his own way of defense, which could block Lu Ming's attack. Yang Wu, who was watching all this from afar, murmured, "Father's talent and comprehension are not inferior to mine." All along, Yang Jinnan's limelight had been overshadowed by Yang Wu. Even if he quietly made a name for himself as the Spear of the South, others would think that it was because of Yang Wu that he had such a reputation. Otherwise, he would just be a nobody. Regarding this, Yang Jinnan did not mind. As a father, he did not want to steal his son's limelight. Moreover, he knew in his heart that in front of his own strength, it was better to keep a low profile and not drag his son down. Only when he had enough strength would he be able to help his son share some of the burden. Therefore, he had been silently cultivating and increasing his strength, which was why he had today's achievements. Yang Wu did not pay much attention to his father. Every time he came back, he would just have a quick chat. Only now did he realize that his father had a very high cultivation realm. In fact, his grandfather Yang Jingtao had also unknowingly cultivated to the Star Rune realm. However, his grandfather did not have the heart to fight for supremacy. Instead, he was willing to stay in the clan to teach the children. He also called himself Old Urchin and brought up Yang Yuan and the other children. He had also made great contributions to the Yang clan. Since his family had all advanced to the Star Rune realm, Yang Wu's heart was incomparably stable. In the future, if he walked on the path of immortality, he also hoped that his family would always be with him. On the battlefield, Lu Ming's attacks did not decrease. He even used his ultimate move. Yang Jinnan's black tortoise battle armor was broken and forced to the edge of the stage. No matter who it was, Yang Jinnan would undoubtedly lose. Suppress you. Lu Ming seemed to have turned into a golden bell and enveloped Yang Jinnan. This majestic, murderous gold energy was enough to turn a martial artist below the 6th level of the Star Rune realm into a pool of blood. Black tortoise doppelganger. In the midst of the counterattack, Yang Jinnan's doppelganger appeared and caught Lu Ming off guard. Chapter 1502. The Yang family's black tortoise bloodline power was divided into several levels, such as the black tortoise shadow, the black tortoise spirit, and the black tortoise doppelganger. These were all bloodline powers that could only be displayed after reaching a certain level. Yang Jinnan's War Blood Immortal art was an immortal art based on the enhancement of bloodline power. After many years of cultivation, his bloodline power was not much worse than Yang Wu's, and had also reached the level of atavism. The black tortoise doppelganger appeared, and many Yang Jinnan manifested. Lu Ming's golden bell shield only hit one of Yang Jinnan's doppelganger and did not hit Yang Jinnan's real body. Yang Jinnan seized this opportunity and several doppelganger attacked at the same time, beating Lu Ming black and blue. I admit defeat. After Lu Ming lost, he knew that he could not reverse the situation and quickly surrendered. There was still a way out if he surrendered, but if he did not surrender, he would die. Yang Jinnan was lucky to win another round. After winning 3 rounds in a row, Yang Jinnan's name caused a small sensation here. He really has some skills. No wonder he dares to guard the arena. The black tortoise doppelganger technique is the power of the Yang family's bloodline. I heard that it can only be displayed when one reaches a very high level. It seems that this Yang Jinnan's bloodline power is very strong. He is indeed Yang Wu's father, but this time he has run out of tricks. If he doesn't go down now, he will definitely die. Yang Jinnan would definitely not go down. His target was Lu Yang. How could he go down just like that? It's time to come up. Yang Jinnan muttered in his heart as he ate another energy recovery pill. That's right, this time, Lu Yang rushed up. He did not want to be robbed of this opportunity by others. I'll take you on. Lu Yang did not reveal his identity. After he killed Yang Yishuan, he did not dare to show his true face. The Yang family had been looking for him to take his life. If he killed Yang Jinnan, after he left the ring, Yang Wu would definitely deal with him personally. He was still not confident that he could exchange blows with Yang Wu. Please. Yang Jinnan already knew Lu Yang's identity, but he still maintained his composure and calmly accepted the challenge. Lu Yang was thick-skinned, but he could not escape Yang Wu's soul eyes. He had been discovered long ago, but he was still unaware of it. He thought that he had hidden himself very well. Yang Wu did not kill Lu Yang outside the ring because of the rules. During the selection of the Martial Sage Assembly, no one was allowed to kill each other. Any grievances could only be settled in the ring. Otherwise, if anyone died in battle on the fighting ring, the winner would be killed in the end. This would cause internal friction and would damage the battle prowess of the human race. At that time, how would they select the strongest 10,000 martial saints to participate in the Thousand Saints Assembly? Some people had disregarded the rules. The people of the Divine Fortune-Telling Tower had calculated the murderer, but they were killed by the joint forces of other forces. Lu Yang's strength was amazing. Otherwise, he would not have dared to threaten to kill anyone from the Yang family. He was at the 9th level of the Star Pattern realm. Among the saints in the world of battle, he could be ranked at the top. Green Dragon Palm Lu Yang was the first to make a move. His palm turned into an azure dragon and enveloped Yang Jinnan. This green dragon's power was amazing. It was high in the air and could make some weak saints kneel on the spot. Yang Jinnan did not block it. He took flexible steps and narrowly avoided Lu Yang's attack. Lu Yong was surprised and said, "You are definitely not at the second level of the star pattern realm. What realm are you at?" Even a grade 6 celestial rune realm saint would have died from that palm strike he had unleashed earlier. However, Yang Jinan had dodged it. Hence, he refused to believe that Yang Jinan was only at the grade 2 celestial rune realm. "I am indeed not at the second level of the star pattern realm. However, you did not show your true face, did you?" Yang Jinan replied. The next moment, the number of star pattern lines on his back increased. There were 3 more star pattern lines between his eyes. There were a total of 5 star pattern lines, which represented his strength. Everyone suddenly realized that they had been deceived by Yang Jinan. He had indeed hidden his strength. It was not an injustice for the people before him to lose. The strength of the 5th level of the star pattern realm. Not bad, not bad. It will be interesting to kill you like this. Lu Yong sneered. There are many people who want to kill me, but it will definitely not be you. Take off your mask, sneaky thing, Yang Jinan replied. I didn't expect you to have such good eyesight. Then I will let you die in peace. Lu Yong bellowed and finally tore off the skin on his face, revealing his original appearance. It was a middle-aged man with a scar. He looked different from when he first appeared. Who are you? Yang Jinan asked. Who else can I be? I am Lu Yong. Lu Yong replied. The Lu Yong who killed my Yang family's disciple, Yang Yishuan? Yang Jinan asked. Yes, it is me. You're not thinking of admitting defeat now, are you? Since you dare to show your true face, how can I admit defeat? I want to avenge Yishuan. Haha, with your strength of the 5th level of the star pattern realm, you dare to say such words to me. Do you really think I am as useless as them? After Lu Yong laughed wildly, he released his true strength. Star patterns shrouded his back, and a large amount of starlight sprinkled down. How shocking was that? The 9 star lines represented his power. Below, a Yang family member shouted, Lord Jinan, quickly admit defeat. Another person said, he is too strong. Don't fight him head-on. Wait for Elder Yang Bashung to fight him. As a member of the battle clan, shouldn't the Yang family become stronger when facing a strong opponent? Admitting defeat after encountering a slightly stronger opponent, isn't that too cowardly? Different voices rang out. That's right. We can't embarrass the battle clan. Go, let's fight first. Another person said. These people all had bad intentions and wanted to provoke Yang Jinan to accept the challenge. Yang Jinan revealed a trace of struggle and said, When did my Yang family have a grudge with you? Why do you hate my Yang family so much? Haha, I have a big grudge with the Yang family. I can't wait to kill everyone in the Yang family. Lu Yong laughed wildly and attacked Yang Jinan again. It was the same green dragon palm, but the power was multiplied several times. It was quite terrifying. Roar. The green dragon wreaked havoc in the arena and sealed every corner of the arena, not giving Yang Jinan a chance to escape. Yang Jinan desperately blocked all of this. He was in a sorry state and was completely defeated. Below the arena, the Yang family patriarch, Yang Qingxing, stared at Lu Yong. A past event appeared in his mind. Could it be him? Once there was a girl from a side branch of the Yang family. Her looks were incomparably outstanding, and she was liked by many young people in the family, including Yang Qingxing. Who would have thought that this side branch girl did not choose any of the family's elites, and instead chose a man from outside the family? She even gave birth to a son before returning to the family, hoping that the child would be recognized by the family. At that time, Yang Qingxing was not the patriarch yet, but he was the family's most important successor. He received the support of many of the elders in the family. Out of anger, he framed the side branch girl with the crime of colluding with the enemy. Not only did he not allow her son to be recognized by the family, but he also wanted to exterminate her entire family. In the end, this side branch girl was forced to stay. Her husband was heavily injured and fled with their son. At that time, Yang Qingxing did not have a way to use the power of a saint, and the other party escaped. He sent out many people to find their whereabouts, but they never found them. Many years had passed, and he thought that the father and son were already dead. The father and son were surnamed Lu, and the man in front of him was named Yang. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that this was a child that escaped. Liu Yang's appearance was somewhat similar to the man he had seen before. Is he back for revenge? Yang Qingxing thought to himself. Then he thought, this revenge should be taken on me. It has nothing to do with anyone else. He wanted to shout, but the battle on the battlefield was getting more and more intense. The sounds of explosions were endless, and no one would be able to hear what he said. In addition, he felt guilty towards Liu Yang. Liu Yang did not only have the blood of the Yang family flowing in his body, but he was also a member of the Azure lineage. To be able to cultivate to the 9th level of the astral veins realm before the age of 1,000 years, he either had heaven-defying luck or astonishing talent in cultivation. If he had been more broad-minded back then, their Azure lineage would have had another prodigy that was not inferior to Yang Tianlin. Of course, all of this was just his guess. Whether or not he was the Cybranch girl's son was still uncertain. Yang Jinan continued to dodge as he asked, every injustice has its perpetrator, and every debt has its debtor. Who in the Yang family offended you? Go find him. What's the big deal about killing everyone in the Yang family? He was wearing the defensive armor of a top saint, so he was not killed by Liu Yang immediately. However, blood was already flowing from the corner of his mouth, and his aura was extremely chaotic. He was afraid that he would not be able to hold on for long. Haha, there is no good person in your Yang family. As long as you surrender, I will tell you who implicated you. Liu Yang sneered. Okay, I'm willing to surrender. Let me die with a clear understanding. When Yang Jinan was hit and rolled to the edge of the arena, he gave up defending and said as if he had accepted his fate. This time, Liu Yang was no longer in a hurry. In his eyes, Yang Jinan could be slaughtered at will. I will let you die in peace. The one who implicated you was your old patriarch, Yang Qingxing. Liu Yang roared and stabbed his sword toward Yang Jinan's head with murderous intent. He did not give Yang Jinan a chance to admit defeat. This sword was extremely stunning. With a flash of a green rainbow, it landed in front of Yang Jinan. Bang! The green rainbow exploded, and light splattered on the arena. Liu Yang looked at Yang Qingxing, who was below the arena, and shouted, Yang Qingxing, another member of the Yang family died for you. Are you happy now? Huh? Who is Liu Yi to you? Yang Qingxing asked with a frown below the arena. You already guessed it. Why are you still asking me? I have the blood of the Yang family flowing in my veins. The one I killed was a member of the Yang family. How refreshing. How refreshing. Huh? Liu Yang revealed an incomparably crazy expression and laughed. Just as he was about to jump off the arena, a voice sounded behind him. The battle is not over yet. Why are you in such a hurry to leave?